Hello, hello, episode 3 of Los Cinematicos, and I'm hearing myself. Is that all taken care of?
I don't know who was it.
Okay. All right. I don't know if it was D or not, but I was hearing two me's.
I heard two of you too.
That was not pleasant. So we don't want that. All right, so we're just going to do a little bit of chit-chatting until we're ready to start. This is our list of best and worst of 2025 with the caveat that it's going to be for like January through June. We turned in our list to Polly in July. So some things have changed for each of us, I believe. I know it has for me. Weapons.
Yep.
So we're not going to count the stuff after, from July into now. It's just going to be top of the year. And but in the meantime, while we wait for things to get prepped backstage, because we did not come prepped, we did not come properly prepped, we're just going to chit chat a little bit. So, what films have you seen lately? Anthony?
I just saw Primitive War this week.
Yeah.
I got to see that a little early, thankfully. I took a swing. I went online and tried to find because I was coming out in a Fathom event only release.
Yep.
So I couldn't use like AMC A-list to see it. And it looked cool. It looked like, Vietnam War, dinosaurs. I was like, as a sucker for a good dinosaur flick, I was like, let me check it out. Independent flick coming from Australia. So I actually searched online for the person doing PR, found an email, shot an email in hopes that they would send me a screener, and they sent it to me. So I was like, hell yeah.
Look at you.
I gotta tell you guys, and I'm watching Latino Slant. Anthony is hustler #1, and I love it. I absolutely love it because hey man, I'm sorry if I'm bothering you too much. Like hell no, keep it up, brother. I love that. You could take a couple notes, Sin.
Look at the dig. Okay, yeah, I should have just opened with, "Hi, I'm Sin. It's all my fault, as usual." So, okay, but that's some very forward thinking of you, Anthony. So that was cool. I was a little interested in that myself, but then I saw that it was a Fathom event, and I was like, nah, I don't think I'll go. So
it's a pricey point for some people. You gotta want to go see the movie for sure. I think I saw just because I was curious that at my local theater it was $18 for the ticket.
Ooh,
standard screening, no recliner, no Dolby, nothing like that. And after having seen the movie, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Like I said it in my review. Like if you're a big dinosaur person, and I've had people in my comments like in love with dinosaurs that said that this was just like a dino fan's dream, then awesome. But if you're not really into if dinosaur action isn't really like, I need to see it on the big screen, that I don't know it's for everybody, But that was a cool one to check out. And then Disney sent me over screener for a Hulu movie, Eeny Meeny, with Samara Weaving and Andy Garcia. Not a terrible movie, but not great. Certainly, I would say, especially with Andy Garcia in the movie, it felt like it was trying to be like a knockoff Ocean's 11, and it just it was just like, you've seen that movie. It felt like a streaming movie. So those are the two movies I saw this week, as well as the American English dub re-release of Neja 2, which was easily my favorite film I saw this week, and easily became the best action I've seen all year and the best animated film I've seen all year, without a doubt.
Is that how you say it, or are you just trying to be cool?
Neja, yeah.
Because I've been like this whole time, like the past year, Niza to Z.
But it's Chinese, right? So they're going to say it a little. It's going to be a little phonetically different than how we.
Oh man, I get in trouble every time I impersonate Chinese people.
That reminds me of that South Park episode.
Neja 2.
I won't do it. I won't say it.
Neja 2 was amazing, bro.
I haven't even heard of these movies.
It was so good. In 2019, Neja became a big success. I remember hearing about it, and I remember that I think for like $100 and something million budget, they made like almost 800 million. And then the second one this year, all year, one of my favorite YouTuber I watch is a guy named Dan Merle, and he does a box office show every Monday or Tuesday or so, depending on the week. And every week, the number one movie at the top of that list has been Ne Zha 2, like months ago, like nearly $2 billion. I think last I checked, it was like just about to hit $2 billion, with like 90% of that coming solely from Asia, which is crazy. Like, and so it's just now coming, like it had a limited release earlier in the year, I remember, but it's just now coming to the States with A24 redistributing it with an English dub. And so I finally watched the first one. I saw it on Peacock, really enjoyed it. And then I went to go see the second one, and it was an IMAX 3D screening. I tend to avoid 3D, but this movie was like beautiful in IMAX 3D. Like it completely engulfed you in that world. And I just think if you like are a fan of animated movies, must see. If you're a fan of action movies, must see. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a movie. It's impossible for a movie this year, action-wise, to top Ne Zha 2. Like, I would be blown away. The whole final hour of the movie is just all out insane, over the top Asian cinema action. Like, it's like if you like anime or even just enjoy the visuals of anime action, it's just like insane. I mean, wars of like armies throwing at each other, everyone with crazy superpowers, and then there's like a nice story at the center with heart and charm and some like sweet, like cute, like I'm a big fan of Asian cinema and a huge fan of like anime and stuff like that. There's a cheesy charm to their humor as well that I just love. And the movie has just like that perfect amount of it, and just visually alone, I mean, insane. You won't find an animated movie or an action movie this year that does what Ne Zha is doing. It's not even possible.
The box office has come out for this past weekend, and Ron Howard's Eden opened up to $1 million. Cost $50 million to make, just so you guys know.
Well, I was going to mention that I had heard that Ne Zha 2 didn't do so well here in the States.
I feel like a lot of people still haven't heard about it unless you're like
a
really
super fan or
following
something.
the box office, you know, like and mind you, I heard about it for the longest time, and it wasn't until I knew I was gonna see it this week that I was like, let me finally watch the first one. And I'm like, oh my God, it's one of those situations where you watch something and you're like, man, like I feel bad for being so late to the party, but I'm so happy to finally be on board, you know? So I think that's going to be the thing. I think most people that I've seen who decided to go and give the Ne Zha films a try this week have really seemed to enjoy it. I've seen on my letterbox at least a good like 8 or 9 different of our YouTube peers that have like decided to watch the first one and go see the second one, to mostly very positive reviews.
Daniel says he went to go see it in 4DX. He was nearly blind. I've never been to a 4DX show.
It's a lot. It's depending on the movie, it can be tons of fun, but it's definitely not like let me get a bowl of popcorn kind of movie. Like every time I've left one of those movies, there's just popcorn all over the floor. Because depending on how action packed, but with Ne Zha, with a lot of movies, you at least get a little time to kind of sit back and relax. You know, like for instance, I saw Novocaine. I was invited to a press screener for Novocaine earlier this year that wasn't 4DX. You know, it has like its action moments, but then it slows down, you know, and there's dialogue and there's no movement in those moments. I also saw the Christmas movie Red One last year in 4DX, which was fun again in the action sequences. But with Ne Zha, I mean, that whole final hour is legit. Like the best way I could describe it in terms of just like action wise is like, do you guys remember like the second Hobbit movie, how that was just like all war? The third Hobbit movie, I'm sorry, was like all like it starts off in war and the whole movie takes place during war. That's essentially the last hour of Ne Zha, where there's story happening and stuff, but it is just nonstop action the entire final hour. So yeah, I feel like if I was sitting there watching that, Lord have mercy.
Oh wow.
Couple things before we start, guys. We got some members hanging out with us in the chat, which is really cool. Richard the Dungeon Crawler, Bonso, Shinotsky. He just saw K-pop Demon Hunters in the theater. That's pretty cool. I really like that film. It was a lot of fun.
I have been meaning to watch that.
And okay, so there's that. And then today we're also broadcasting on Facebook and on X as well as YouTube. So
nice.
It's happening. You're happening, D. What have you seen lately? Not the pickup.
I was gonna say, honestly, between Weapons and that cinematic disaster, not much. Because right now, in the meantime, I'm waiting on The Roses, and
Ooh,
the the cinema offerings, at least for me right now, has been kind of So I probably haven't seen nearly as much as Sin or Anthony, but yeah, but at least but I got to have two extremes as far as my last two experiences. I had something I really really loved and something I absolutely despise. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Well,
Nice. I love it.
this past Tuesday, I saw Highest to Lowest.
hmm
I saw that you saw it too, and that I was disappointed with it.
I heard that
I
from people.
Yeah, okay, so it wasn't just me. I was just like, what am I missing? Because I feel it's just not what I felt like it was in a Lifetime movie. When
Really?
some of the constant score that was playing in the background, they're talking about, kidnapped children and ransom, and there's this sappy ass score playing in the. Stop, quit, be quiet with that music. It was just like sucking all of, and I was just agitated by the score. I think I have, what's it called, misophonia or whatever, and like certain noises will start to just agitate me. By the time they got to the Puerto Rican scene, I was mad at the piano player because his tongue was very prominent when he played the piano. I was so aggravated. So I didn't hate it. It was an interesting premise, but it was just like, ooh, the focus on music didn't work so well. It didn't work as well in Highest to Lowest for me as it did in Sinners.
Right.
Can't
For sure.
explain it because both of those films are very, music centric. So
Yeah, well, Sinners definitely being a substantially better film across the board, but I
Yeah.
can totally see where you're coming from for sure. I mean, I liked it. I gave it a positive review, mostly. But I said in my review for it that I've always been somebody who is very hit or miss with Spike Lee. He's got these
Yeah.
Spike Lee isms, the things that make him who he is, that give him his own identity. But at times, I think he overindulges in those things, and it sometimes detracts from it. Sometimes the editing style, sometimes the dialogue, sometimes in the case of the music. I actually like the music personally. It's funny because I kind of felt, based on the criticisms, the way I did hearing people talk about Challengers last year, where there was a lot of people talking about like the
Okay.
audio in that film, but I wasn't super bothered by the audio, so I don't know if my ears are just broken or something, but I get it. Like it's definitely a very in your face score.
Yeah.
But I've always liked movies that are heavily score related, and I guess I kind of, because the movie is a soft remake of High and Low, the Kurosawa film from the 60s.
Right. Yeah.
The 60s also had a lot of like very music heavy films, and Kurosawa was famous for that kind of thing,
Okay.
So I assumed that it was kind of an homage to that, but yeah, I mean, like overall, like it definitely, you ain't gonna be hearing when I talk about the movies that are on my new top 5. Highest to Lowest is not there, but
Not gonna
it won't be on the worst list for me this year, and
No.
it won't be on the best list. It'll just be a movie that came out that I
Yep.
enjoyed enough, so I can understand the kind of like division on it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad it's not just me, because sometimes I feel like just like, what am I missing that this didn't land with me the way I felt like it would land with other people. But I was disappointed. And there was applause in the theater when it was done, and the theater was almost full, and it was like a 12:10 showtime in the afternoon, and there was this applause, and I'm like, I can't identify with this applause at all.
Spike Lee has his fans. I'll tell you that. Like I've covered a bunch of Spike Lee films over with our peer Rashad of Rashad G Reviews, and like there's so many times that he like praises a film, and I'll get roasted in the comments, because I didn't love everything about it.
Right.
And so I've definitely I've been on the receiving end of some passionate Spike Lee fans. So I think there are some people that just jive with his style of
Just
filmmaking.
love.
And
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
just one of
Did
those
you
things.
catch the funny little Easter egg with the guns?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, so he said the first gun Jeffrey Wright pulled out, he said it was his insurance. He was Jake from State Farm.
Oh, right. That
The
one. Yeah.
second gun was Mayhem.
You're right. Yeah.
Did you catch the Easter egg with that?
Yeah. Because Mayhem is in the movie, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Funny
I
enough,
just thought it was funny.
he must be like on a little run right now because he's also in Eeny Meeny. So I thought it was funny
Oh,
to
is
see,
he?
like, yeah, I mean, in like literally one scene, but I just thought it was funny to see him going from like really him just being the mayhem guy from the commercials to like seeing him in 2 movies in the last 2 weeks. I thought was funny.
Well, one of the earlier things I actually saw him in was maybe the pilot episode or maybe the later episodes of the Sarah Connor Chronicles. He played in
That's right. That's
one
right.
or
I haven't
more
seen
of
that show in a
those.
very long time.
Yeah, very good show. I'm sorry that it's gone. But are we ready to get this underway, Polly? Okay.
Waiting for you guys. But there's a couple of comments I want you guys to react to.
Okay.
Bin Block, was Eden even promoted? The release dates were all over the place too. It was out in Europe in spring,
which is interesting.
I think it went to the festivals last year, so it's considered a 2024 release. As far as that goes, yeah, I mean, it's already on the 7 Seas. So, yeah. Have you guys seen it yet?
No. I was going
Okay.
to go this weekend to go catch a couple of the new releases, Americana, Eden, and kind of like D, because I had already covered a couple of new releases this week. I was just like, nothing is like immediately calling to me. And I was like, let me not bombard my YouTube channel with like a bunch of reviews that I'm not clamoring to watch, So
not
I was
crazy
like, yeah, I skipped out on them.
Americana was pretty good. I saw that a week and a half ago or so, or not yesterday, but the Saturday before, I think was when I saw Americana. And Eden was the mystery movie last week. And I'm now very fascinated by the true story of this, you guys. It's insane. It's so crazy I never thought, okay, I absolutely despised Anna de Armas's character in there. Like, I wanted to do her some harm. Because she was so bad. I mean, she played it very well. Everybody was really, really good in there as far as the acting. But the standout for me, surprisingly, was Sydney Sweeney.
Again,
she was very good in here.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had just seen Americana, which was made about 2 or 3 years before.
Right.
Because I think that was filmed in 22. And so now she was obviously playing a completely different character, but I felt like I could see an improvement in her acting from 2 to 3 years ago to even, just very recently. But if you guys don't know the true story of this, it's fascinating.
Yeah, Rosa Parra really came away from it as a Sydney Sweeney fan now of her acting.
Yeah,
like she said, it's a great role.
Yes, she was extremely she was not Sydney Sweeney playing Sydney Sweeney. She was playing this character. I mean, she was just like, at first I didn't even realize that was her. And then it was like, oh, another Sydney Sweeney movie. Okay, But yeah, she was good.
Yeah, in fact, we said on our reviews by the headline, Sydney Sweeney stands out in Soulless Eden.
Yeah, so Rosa actually captures my thoughts about Eden pretty well because I'm fascinated by the true story, but I was not in love with the movie. I recognize the acting was very, very good. The story was absolutely insane. Most of it was true. Some of it was obviously dramatized. The birth scene was highly dramatized. That it did not happen that way in real life at all, and some other things. But the movie did leave me kind of empty. Like it didn't work for me fully. But I'm just obsessed with the true story now.
Is there like a story or a story or a live stream? Is there like an original book or a documentary or something?
Yes, they made a documentary about 11 or 12 years ago. I think it was called maybe Satan Comes to Eden or something I can't remember. That was on YouTube. It's a 2-hour documentary, but it's since been taken down because it was, I guess, violation of copyright. Wasn't supposed to be on that channel. But there are other smaller, like there's a 15-minute documentary that condenses things down a lot. Then it's also on like true crime podcasts and stuff. So there's a lot. I'll try to remember to link some for you, Dee, if you want to check them out. Just find out the true story.
Yeah. Sorry, Polly. Go ahead.
No. That's great. What do you think? Sinners is a lot like From Dusk Till Dawn.
I've heard that.
I've heard that comparison a lot. I would say maybe stylistically, and that's about it. You know, like that there are elements stylistically that are similar. I got into a debate with this with my uncle because his whole perspective is that there's no original films anymore, and I'm a very strong advocate for the notion that there are original films. People just don't go see them. They complain that there's no
True.
original films, but then the number 2 highest grossing film this year is Lilo and Stitch. It's just like, as somebody who watches a lot of stuff, sometimes garbage, sometimes straight garbanzo beans and rice. But you know, there's just times where you're just, you know, like you got to get out there. You got to just seek random things, you know, and like there is good stuff out there. So in the case of Sinners, you know, I think part of why people loved it is because it takes, you know, a very oversaturated world of things like vampires and does something, does something different and has a different style to it. And sure, you can compare it to Dusk Till Dawn, but narratively there isn't really much similar there, other than there's brother characters.
Well, and it's vampires, but
right.
I mean, that's kind of a loose compare. I personally feel that Sinners is better than From Dusk Till Dawn. I like From Dusk Till Dawn, but I think Sinners is just much
Get
better.
out of here.
I'm sorry, Polly, I do.
We're
I do like
we're
From
not
Dusk
going to
Till
get bogged
Dawn.
down in this. I've already had this argument with Cameron Pasha.
Well, we weren't arguing about that, were we? Not the
Nisha 2 is also out on Blu-ray in original language with English dub.
English subs.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to rent it already online and stuff too. I think for months now, just because of the Chinese release, since it was so long ago at this point. But you know, now you have the English dub, which I actually want to watch it in Chinese proper, because you know you do still have the mouth sync issue because the animation was clearly made for Chinese.
Okay, so how do you want to do this, Sin? We're ready to go. I've
been trying to still download like posters and stuff as we talk, and it's extremely hard to multitask. It is impossible to multitask.
All right. Well, why don't you do that? Why don't we do this order? All right, we're gonna go with D. I will substitute for Rosa Parra. I have her list.
Okay.
Then Sin, and then Anthony. Because he requested to go after
He wanted to go after me. I feel so special.
Right. Right. So how does that sound? D, are you ready for your number 5 best movie of the year so far?
I am, I suppose. If I am the one to kick this thing off, then yes.
All right. Okay. Well, we do have a little thing for you. Hold on here. All right, here we go.
So
there you go, buddy.
Can I add the picture to the stage? Do you want me to do that, Paulie?
Do it. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, here we go. You're number 5, D.
This is my number 5?
Your number. Oh shit.
Oh man. She's already messing up. We're trying to be professional here.
This is on multiple lists, you guys. I'm sorry, and I hadn't gotten to D's yet completely. So give me a second.
D, go ahead. Just tell us what your number 5 is.
I'm sorry, D.
No, you're fine. My number 5 is directed by Drew Hancock. This was. I don't think I had like any real expectations going into this one, and especially because January has become that month where we know like most cinematic, or at least a majority of cinematic atrocities really concentrated in that month. And I have seen some of the films that have been released like over the years, and I'm just like, whew, like I never realized that until even the past couple of years. I never realized just how many truly terrible movies were in January. So I think that probably also added to my surprise with this one. But I like the fact that I liked how this film had a little, a slight little horror edge to it, or thriller edge to it. But I liked how it incorporated, I don't want to spoil because I remember the conversation about the trailers, and we've had conversations about what gets told and what doesn't. So all I will simply say is that I really enjoyed this take on new age technology and this idea of relationships and people and identity and all those things. It's like we've seen aspects of that in stories before, but there was something about the blend of the comedy and the violence and the intensity and the suspense and all those things that really worked together for me. And it really was a film I wasn't expecting to just love, but I really walked out having a great experience with it. And I thought Sophie Thatcher, who's already been making her mark as far as, you know, horror with Heretic, and then she's done Yellow Jackets, and she's done other things like that. So I thought she was great. I really enjoyed the cast, and yeah, I thought it was a really solid film. Again, not just because it was in January, but also because it was in January.
Yep, surprisingly, very solid film. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very
Who's next? Rosa's
Okay.
best, right? Rosa's number 5 was Thunderbolts.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember her review.
She didn't write a little summary too for your article.
Yeah, well, she did it verbally with the audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I think obviously she liked the relationship. Oh, she is a huge what's her name? The lead.
Florence Pugh.
She's a huge Florence Pugh fan, and she really shined in this film, according to Rosa. So that's her number 5.
Okay. Nice. All right. Let me put my number 5 up. Oh my gosh, I am just feeling so discombobulated. All right.
We'll get better at it. Don't worry about it. Don't
I
worry
know.
about it.
I think it's just because I'm trying to download everybody's thumbnails and make
No,
the
I'll help
posters
out
and make
too.
sure all the numbers are right and I don't accidentally screw up like I did.
Yeah, this is all fun. Listen, our audience appreciates it.
Okay, my number 5 surprised me a little bit. I mean, I would have never told you that this would be my number 5 at the beginning of the year, but it was F1. I enjoyed the heck out of this film. I think that this director is fantastic. Top Gun Maverick was my number 1 the year it came out. I watched that movie so many times on the big screen. I think it overtook maybe Halloween 2018. So yeah, I am not a sports fan or a fan of sports movies and racing stuff, but man, the way this thing was filmed, you felt the adrenaline. You felt like you were in that vehicle, and Brad Pitt's acting so good. I mean, this guy, I don't know, he's like injected something from the fountain of youth. I think he does not age, this man. And the guy who played opposite him, I'm hearing myself again. That was weird. Okay, the guy who played opposite him, I really liked how their personalities clashed. Brad Pitt, the more experienced and but kind of big-headed because he knows quite a bit. But then the other kid, he was pretty arrogant as well, but he had a lot to learn. But he had this great raw talent. So yeah, I enjoyed this film a lot. I anticipate it will probably remain on my top 10 for the year, but things are shifting now with other movies, but as of the end of June it was my number 5, and that's it for me. Okay, Anthony.
Yeah, so my number 5 is also F1. So yeah, we
should have just left it up.
Yeah, no, you're good. So yeah, I definitely echo everything you said. I thought it was incredibly well made. I think my only real gripe with it was that it was a fairly familiar story, like Days of Thunder, Cars. Like it's got a similar kind of, I guess, a familiar story that you've seen before in a racing movie. But in terms of the filmmaking, in terms of the performances, in terms of just being engaged, I remember I was leaving a doctor's appointment and I almost wasn't going to make it to the movie because it was just absolutely horrible traffic. And I was just flying to get there. And I finally get there. I was kind of like, heart was racing a little bit, feeling a little stressed as I was. I don't know about you guys. I hate getting to the movies like kind of like crunched on time. I like to get there with some time. And so I got there, I sat down, but man, once the movie started going, I was locked in. I was completely engaged with the whole film from beginning to end. And it's a long one. I don't know what the runtime is off the top of my head, but it's well over
4 and
2
2
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I really enjoyed it. Great performances. It's done really well at the box office. It's kind of surprisingly well. I think it's number 8, I'm sorry, for the year
Oh,
so far. I
nice.
don't know that it'll make it in the top 10 by the end of the year with some of the big, heavy hitters we got coming in the holiday season. I will say that with the obviously the caveat that we are going based off of our January to June, F1 has been kicked out of my top 5, but as far as my thoughts for January to June, it was a solid number 5 for me, and easily probably still going to be in my top 10 for the year overall by the time we get to the end. Great movie for sure.
Nice. Cool. All right. So, Polly, do we want to address any comments or move on to number 4?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Which one?
Comments.
Okay.
Oh, just in general.
Okay, this one was already okay. So it looks like we got a super chat here. I don't think you popped that up yet, did you, Polly? Okay. Okay, so here we go. This is addressing what you were talking about. For $4.99. Thank you, Wabuki. I have no idea if that's the right way to say your screen name. Is it to your dad who said there are no original films this year? Have him watch hundreds of beavers.
I've heard about that one. I've heard great things about that.
Anthony was talking about that one.
Yeah,
recently.
It was in my top 20 last year. Super, super unique film. It's essentially, the best way I could describe it is live action Looney Tunes. It's just like a dude that gets lost out in the wilderness by himself. It's got like an old timey, like, lumberjack kind of vibe to it. Dude with like, raccoon hat, kind of like silly sound effects. Everything about it is meant to feel very like DIY, like filmmaking. And the funniest element about it is that he's trying to, kill hundreds of beavers throughout the course of the film so he can afford something from like this guy he like sells the bodies to. But the beavers are all people in like beaver mascot outfits. So he's just like this guy out in the wilderness in the snow, like fighting people and they kind of captured all the goofiness of it too. Like if one of the guys that's in the mascot outfit like fell over, like, or was running and slipped and his like shoe fell off, like they kept all that in the movie. It's super silly. It's not for everybody. And I think at a certain point, halfway through the movie, I've seen it twice now, there's always this moment of like, I can't believe this is a feature-length film. Like I'm about to sit here and watch another hour of this. So I think for some people, it might run a little old pretty quick, but such a fun. If you're looking for unique, this absolutely is a great choice. I think I had it at like number 20 or number 19 last year, but that was pretty good given the fact that I saw like, I don't know, like 120, 2024 releases last year.
Oh my goodness. It sounds, the way you were describing it reminds me a little bit of Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I just could not. I mean, it was so very obviously people in these outfits, but they were really supposed to be Winnie the Pooh, Feral, and Piglet. I was just like,
This one is definitely asking you to like go along for like a tongue in cheek. It's all black and white too. Like there's no audio. There's no dialogue in the movie either. If somebody says anything, it's like kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever played the old Lego games, but they would like in the old Lego games when they would talk to each other to be like, when they look at stuff. So the whole thing is meant to feel like a Looney Tune, like a live action Looney Tunes cartoon. It's super goofy. It's very tongue in cheek. If you're not into slapstick, probably not for you.
yeah.
But it's definitely a unique film for sure. Whereas Blood and Honey is just a bad slasher, a very bad cash grab slasher.
So I kind of disagree with this a little bit. It's a miracle if you can find anything that's watchable today. There's a lot that's watchable, but a lot of these original movies that we're talking about, they don't get promoted very much. That's part of the reason why so many people just don't know about them, because we're like movie fanatics. We pay attention to what's coming out, so we know about a lot of these things. A lot of people, they just don't. All they know is those big IPs that are shoved into their face with every commercial. So
yeah.
Well, here I have an idea, guys. Queen and everyone that says that, stick to the latinoslant.com and everything that these guys are covering, because you guys are covering so many movies that I didn't even know about. And so you can check out the review and then make up your mind. But there's a lot of films, original stories out there that just because they're not getting the big budget marketing doesn't mean that they're not in theaters, that you can't see them. They're very accessible, guys. So stick to our reviews
Agreed.
or else.
Okay. I guess we're ready for number 4 now. I can.
Oh,
I
everyone got,
put
okay.
it. I put it up on the stage. If
Are you ready? Here we go. Number 4.
okay, this is D's number 4. Here we go.
Yes, my number 4 is East of Wall, written and directed by Kate Beecroft. I saw this back in this past January at Sundance, and this was one of, so obviously this year, obviously I saw it online, but this was one of the categories where ahead of time you can buy tickets for the award winners. I think I'm not sure if this was an audience award or a jury award, but whatever category I had bought it for, you don't know what the film is until it gets the award. And you just watch it, whatever it is. And so I didn't know anything about East of Wall outside. I remember I saw it in the catalog, but it's expensive. So there's only but so many films that I have to prioritize. And so finally seeing it after the fact, I was kind of like, we'll see. I'm not sure. And as far as the story, because I realized I didn't really get too deep into the story for spoilers, but here it's basically about a woman on a ranch in South Dakota and how she is trying to, and she, I believe they train and they sell horses. They have this livelihood that depends on that. And she's trying to take care of her family, her community, while dealing with these, kind of unresolved issues, losses, grief, and things like that. And I think that for me, I don't know, it was something very poignant and very heartfelt about it that just really struck a chord with me. Obviously, I talk about my connection to stories that deal with, reality in that sense, or kind of slices of life. But for me, it was something about seeing, because me and my friends make jokes all the time, how there are these states in the US where you just don't know anything about them. Like, what's up with North and South Dakota? Like, what's really going on out there? And so I think to have that insight into, what that looks like, I think that was really impressive. And then to also find out after the film was over that this is like, these are not really actors in the typical sense. Like, they're kind of replicating their lives and kind of showcase based on the woman Tabitha Zuniga, I believe.
Tabitha Zuniga,
Zuniga, yeah. How it's based on her life, and so it's basically she's kind of playing herself, and then we have some people in their community, and it's the same kind of dynamic, and so that really kind of took it somewhere else for me. And I don't know, I just felt like I really was able to connect with the story and just the way it, I don't know, just managed to just navigate this family dynamic and just kind of the uniqueness of their lives together. And so for me, yeah, walking away from that, I was really, really surprised, because I think going in, I was kind of like, oh, okay, we'll see how this goes. And I really appreciated the experience.
It was interesting because this was one of the mystery movies at AMC. It was the Screen Unseen. And I spent a good portion of this film feeling a little agitated because it was moving like molasses. And I was going to downrate this thing so hard. Really, I was. And then I started like, is this like, am I looking at something like Sing Sing where these people are playing versions of themselves?
Right.
And that's exactly what was happening. Now, Sing Sing is more polished, more refined. It's just kind of more well executed or better executed than East of Wall. But I tell you, that movie stuck in my brain for a long time after I watched it, and then I was fascinated by the true story of it. So it definitely, came up in my book. So interesting, not your typical normal. This was the director's first movie.
Yeah.
First full-length movie. So, and she lived with the family for like 3 years.
Yes, that as well.
So, yeah, it was very, and you can tell that they're not professional actors, but they're so authentic. So, yeah, that really shines through. Okay, Polly.
All right, what do you have next? Rosas?
Yeah, are you not going to do yours, Polly?
Yeah, I forgot, but you know what? This is Rosa's number 4. It's not, and it was my number 5.
Ah, okay.
So, and it keeps going down for me. I'll just say that. It's
Okay.
it'll probably still make my top 10. Rosa saw this late in the game, so she did not do a review of this for the Slant. I believe you did, Sin.
I did. Yes.
Right. I believe you did. And again, yeah, I've talked about it enough on other live streams. So, but obviously she loved it as well. So that was her number 4, and my number 5. My number 4 is what? Is it Companion?
Let me see. I got your list is at
Let
the
me
bottom.
look.
No, your list is
Yeah, Companion. That movie's
your
incredible. My number 4.
your number 4 is Sinners.
Is it? No.
Your number 5 is
1,
something
2, 3, 4.
Your number 5 is
No, you're not right. You're not counting right, dude.
Oh,
1, 2,
okay,
3,
okay.
4, 5.
You put 6 on here. I'm
I
sorry.
did put 6. I don't know what I'm doing.
For some reason, I read that as like a header for
I
your
don't know what I'm
list. Like
doing.
I don't. I don't know what I'm doing either. You think we've
Yeah,
never
put it
run
on
a movie
spin.
before?
Number 4 for me was Companion. It's so original. Great lead actors. Great little cast as well.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
how about what's his name? Jack Quaid, like unsung star of this year, with Novocaine, and he had a little bit role in some other film. Yeah, he's great, man. That was a really, really well done film. Okay.
Yeah, Sophie Thatcher agreed.
Yeah.
She's incredible. I noticed her as an
Mhm.
actor when she was in Heretic. That's when I first paid
Yeah.
attention to her. I was like, wow, she's really good. And then she was fantastic. In Companion, I really like that movie a
Yeah.
lot.
So that was my number 4.
Okay,
Who's
so
next?
it's me.
Yes.
And Anthony. So my number 4. I had it up too, but
Oh,
it's okay.
you have a-
No, it's all right. It's all
you
good.
have a better picture.
Well, because the other one reminds me of Sisu for some reason. I see that and I think it's that
Oh,
movie
God.
Sisu. Yeah, warfare. So I'm not someone who generally loves war movies,
Mhm.
but this one was so interesting. The way it was filmed, pretty much like no score. You didn't need a score. What was happening on the screen was tenseful enough. That's a word my daughter made up, and I'm going with it. It was only an hour and a half long, and that movie felt like it's like first 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm ready for this to be over, but not in a bad way. It was because I was getting so amped up by what was happening, and you had no idea what the end result was going to be because I did not know this story. This is based on a true story. I did not know what the outcome was going to be. So it's these guys in, I think it's Iraq. It's Iraq, yeah. They get involved in this firefight. They're just there to provide, like, I don't know, security or reconnaissance or whatever for some mission that's supposed to be happening, and they get attacked, and it just becomes this all-out bloody battle and the ugly consequences of warfare. And I thought it was just spectacularly done. Some people were upset that the director didn't take the time to insert some sort of, I don't know, message or whatever. I was hearing complaints about that, but that wasn't the point of it. The ultimate message, if you want to say there was a message, was just what warfare does to people.
Right.
So I thought it was really, really good. I saw it twice on the big screen, and it landed in my top 5 early on. So yeah, that's mine. And Anthony.
You should have kept it up.
I know, because I was like, I think yours is the same as mine.
I know. I kind of laughed once you said warfare. I hadn't looked at your list, but then I went back to see how much more similar we have. But I think that's where it ends as far as the same numbers. But yeah, warfare. I mean, an incredible film. I saw it. I struggled when it came down to ranking or rating this one because it's not a fun movie. It's not one that I'm like, can't wait to throw it on for dinner tonight. I saw it in an IMAX screening, or IMAX early press screening. So it was just me and like 10 other critics in the whole IMAX theater. So we all kind of sat separated from one another. And I just remember thinking, like, the gunshots are scary. It looks gorgeous. And, you know, I push back on the people who watched it and think that there's no message, because the film's message is about the brutality of war, you know, and kind of more than anything, the nonsensical nature of war at times too, right? Like, you just have these people who are, you know, they're being sent there by people who are not there, like, to
Right.
go and to kill and to be killed and to be destroyed and ultimately be helpless, not really know why they're there, and then they're lost in fear. And I think more than anything, like, yeah, the lack of musical score, the cinematography, the performances, it just gives it a real tangible, you know, in the moment kind of feel to it. Watching it in IMAX was incredible in terms of the sound. Like, the gunshots are scary, they're loud, they're bombastic. It's not a film that's, again, fun to watch, but it's not only about like the turmoil that the soldiers go through, but also like the damage and the destruction and the chaos, especially with the way the film ends, that is just left in the, you know, the wake of it just left in behind with all this war. Like, you just have these people, specifically the people, like, for anybody who hasn't seen the film, you know, the movie all takes place in one location, one house. There's a family in this house that these soldiers have taken over the home, and now they're in the middle of this gunfight. And eventually, you know, this gunfight is over, and the family whose house it was is just looking around like, what just happened? You know,
Yeah.
like, suddenly we're living life normal here, and next thing you know, there's people's guts in our living room, like blood everywhere. People have been screaming in here for the longest time, gunshots going off, and now the soldiers are gone, and we're just left to deal with this, you know. And I think that it's, you know, when you look at great war films like a Saving Private Ryan, Hacksaw Ridge, Platoon, Apocalypse Now, that are able to kind of have like a heroic story to it, I think what Warfare does that's super special is, you know, create an experience more than it is a story. And I think when you look at how well made this movie is, it's really impactful. And, you know, I kind of appreciate, between this film and Alex Garland's film from last year, Civil War, you know, I think a lot of things he's trying to say with his very war-centric films right now.
Yeah, this one, there was a moment in this movie that took me so completely by surprise. I dropped the F-bomb out loud in the theater. I'm glad no one was sitting close to me. It was a particular explosion that I was not expecting, because it happened like that. And it was so startling. And yeah, it was very impactful film for me. So that's interesting that is yours as well.
Right.
I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. Tom Baker said he hasn't heard of Warfare. Obviously, the best experience would have been on the big screen, because you are really surrounded by all that noise. But if you like war films, I recommend it. Yeah. Okay, Paulie.
Yeah, what's next?
Okay. Oh, so you've already done your 5 and 4. Okay. So
Yeah.
I guess.
So we got 3.
Do you want to start with 3, or just check out some of the comments?
No, let's keep going.
Okay.
All right.
So
Here we
this
go.
is
Number 3.
D's.
We got to play
I got
those,
it.
man.
Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting that you do that, and then it interrupts me. And I was like, oh yeah, derp. Okay, here we go. D's number 3.
Twinless, yes. So this is another Sundance selection. This is written, directed by, and starring James Sweeney, with his feature directorial debut, and starring Dylan O'Brien. Story-wise, it's centered around these two gentlemen, as you can see, who form a friendship based off of their meeting each other at a twin bereavement group. So for people who have lost their twins and are dealing with the ramifications, the mental and emotional toll of that experience. And I have to say, first and foremost, I would say out of all the films I saw at Sundance, this was probably my number one. And I didn't really expect it to, because when I saw all I remember seeing from the display picture was the two of them with these the little green diamonds above their heads. And I was just like, this looks bizarre, but I am a Dylan O'Brien fan. He also he starred in plenty of films, but he's also starred in The Outfit, which I've done a review for, which Sin is also a big fan of. We love The Outfit. She's also had her experience with the
With
writer.
Jonathan McClane, yeah.
Yeah. So so I was like, let me check this out and let's see what's going on. Listen, first and foremost, I would say that I don't know if this film will get the Oscar buzz that he deserves for this, because I know how we know how the awards, the Oscars can be. However, if this is definitely, I could easily just quickly, it didn't take long for me to figure it out, but you know how like at the Oscars they'll show a specific scene and you're like, oh, that's the scene that they show to display the performance that they get the award for. Like there was one scene I was just like there is no way he does not deserve like all the nominations. So that was number one. The second thing I will say is that this film completely threw me for a loop. I thought this was about one thing. I said what it was, and I was very interested to see how it was going to progress from there. And I think it's always interesting seeing how unlikely friendships come about. Anthony's very familiar with that. We have a very complicated friendship because Anthony tends to hold me at arm's length and threaten me because I don't like Avatar movies and things like that. But, we're trying to work through
and subject you to Jaws movies.
I'm just saying, like, we're trying to work through our issues, you know what I'm saying? And so seeing a film that kind of parallels some of that, I was like, okay, yeah, I feel a little bit seen here. But I will say, very, very quickly, they do a little alley-oop with the film. And I was extremely shocked by how the story progressed. And obviously I'm not going to give it away. What I will also say is that some scenes in this film went viral because someone, you have the online experience, and I guess somebody recorded it on their phone, which was a spoiler, but it's a specific R-rated scene, I'll say. And people started reposting. So they yanked the film from, its platform online. And it just so happened my friend, who also has watched, Sundance films online, she was in the middle of watching Twin List, and all of a sudden she couldn't access it anymore. So that was unfortunate. But as far as a film, Twin List is definitely up there. I really, really appreciated this one.
So I do have a question about it. Is there any comedy woven into it?
Oh, absolutely. It is it's definitely comedy there. It's kind of a dark comedy, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is comedic in tone. But then there are I'll just say there are a couple of sinister elements there. And that's why I say like some of the alley-oop kind of popped up and I was just like, all right. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know that I've heard much about that. I'm interested in it because I really like Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah.
He's such a fantastic actor. I've liked him since Teen Wolf. So okay, that's interesting. It's on my radar now. Thank you, Dee. All right, my number 3. I should have just left it.
Hey, it's
it's your turn. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put mine up in the
background. Going out of order, man.
Sorry, you disappear yourself. Like I can't see you half the time, and then I forget you're there.
I'm here. All right, Rosa's number 3 was Freaky Tales.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, this is one of the best films of the year. I don't know why it's not on my 5 right now. I think because I saw it so late in the game. But it's so original. It's so much fun. It's so bonkers. Great, great character work. It's an ensemble cast. Yes, Pedro gets top billing just because of his name, whatever. But it's also Ben Mendelsohn and all these other Dominique. She was, it's just, and then the late, what's his name? I forgot the young actor. He took his life.
Oh, from Euphoria. I know you're talking about.
Yes, unfortunately. You could tell, man, that he was a very special actor as well. Agnes.
Oh, Angus. Is it Angus Miller? I think that might have
Is that his name? He's in this film. It's just great characters. It's set in 1987, so it's got that retro. They lean heavily into it. And I
Cloud.
don't know what more I could say. You know, I don't know if anyone wants to add. That was Rosa's number 3.
Yeah, it's Angus Cloud. The only
Angus
other
Cloud.
thing,
I
yeah,
thought
go
he.
ahead.
I
Sorry.
thought it was I thought it was an OD with him. Accidental.
Well,
He
we
was
could
in
talk about
Abigail.
Agnes Cloud. So yeah,
Angus Cloud.
Yes.
Yeah.
whatever it
Um,
was, but he's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say this is one I randomly saw. I think this is when I had some time off work, and so I randomly saw it in the middle of the day. I think maybe like early afternoon, and this is another one that was at not this year's Sundance, but the last year's Sundance, and I didn't get a
Right.
chance to see it. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. There were some familiar faces. I knew, especially the one in the middle. I'm familiar because of the HBO series Insecure that Issa Rae created. Him, you know, take center stage in this, and the just the interconnected kind of my anthology stories that connect. And I said something similar in Weapons. I actually referenced this film in that because I liked how Weapons had kind of the vantage points and things like that, and then the stories came back together. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Freaky Tales is on my list. It just wasn't quite at that part of the list, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
And my number 3 is Warfare.
Okay.
It's what makes it there's so many reasons why it's a brilliant film. You know, Ray Mendoza's story, the character of Ray, the real person, is played by this actor right here in the middle. When Ray was a I believe he got the Navy Cross because of this skirmish. It's one skirmish, guys, so it's not like a Full Metal Jacket. You know, it's one skirmish, one situation where they're stuck in this house, and they're mighty, like very young men that are just tight, and then there's a tragedy that happens, and you know, it's not about the politics. It's not about anything else than keeping each other alive. And they through that sound, Anthony, through the sound and through that jarring, kind of like montage, man, they really make you feel what it's like to be shell shocked.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant
No
film.
one bounces back really quick from explosions in
No.
this movie like they do in others. And the guy in the middle, that's not the character of Ray Mendoza. I can't remember his character's name, but Ray Mendoza was played by another gentleman. He has
I thought that was Ray's
one.
character. I thought that was Ray. Okay.
No, that's Melton, Charles Melton.
That's Charles Melton.
Yeah, he didn't play Ray. The guy who played Ray Mendoza.
Oh, you're right.
He's got an interesting.
My bad. He's
Yeah.
He's an indigenous actor. That's right.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not even going to attempt.
Okay. So, and he was in Reservation Dogs, Charles Melton. And this is like a who's who. Joseph Quinn. ¿Qué más?
Poultier.
Will
Will
Poultier
Poulter.
Yeah.
and Will Poulter. And then what's the other guy? Anthony Soprano's kid.
Oh,
Right,
I
yeah.
know. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Gandolfini.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, great stuff.
Agreed. Yep. Very good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn. We've already talked a lot about this, so I mean, it's vampires, so I'm automatically interested. I did not know initially it was supposed to be vampires. The first trailer was like a teaser, and you had no idea what the heck. By the time the second trailer came around, I think they did give it away. I wish they hadn't. I know. So I knew going into it, but I like the setting. I love the acting. I loved how Michael B. Jordan played those two characters so distinctly. Some people said I had trouble telling who was who. I just went by the color of the hat. Well, I could tell who was Smoke and who was Stack based on the way he distinguished the personalities of those characters. I thought he did such a good job, and the story of Smoke's baby mama was just such a tragic tale, and I really loved how she played that character as well. And the gentleman who was basically really the main character, I don't remember his name. This was his first movie. I thought he was really good. So, and I liked also how they took the vampire element of this, and the leader of the vampires, how he made this very compelling argument
Yes.
for why you should join me. I was like, oof, that's tough.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like the historical aspect of it, and I liked also just the supernatural aspect of it, and I really want to see a movie about those American Indian
Yes.
vampire hunters. That's what we need. That's what should be his next movie. Anyway, so yeah, that's my number 3. And okay, hold on, Anthony. I've got yours. Let me add it. Give me a second.
Wait, it's not the same one? No, I was playing.
No, this time it actually is not. Hold on. Your number 3. Okay. I didn't number it when I downloaded it. So here we go. Anthony's number 3.
Yes, Friendship. Film from A24. I saw the trailers for this one tons of times, and it's just something about it pulled me in. Tim Robinson is somebody who I'm not super familiar with. I know he's got a show that's popular on Netflix, but I honestly really only knew the guy through memes, and I don't even know if you guys know what memes I'm talking about, but there's so many memes with this guy online nowadays from those like sketches and stuff he does on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix. And anyway, so the base premise of this film is you got Tim Robinson there on the left, who's kind of like just a loser, doesn't really connect with his wife. He's not really the man of the house. He's kind of a wimp. They do such a good job of making you feel for him, but also making you be like, bro, come on. Like, like you feel for him, but it's not like full sympathy. It's this thing where you're like, you want him to like step up, but he's also gives you every reason for you to want to smack him across the back of the head. And so they set that up pretty quickly. And this is just an awkward film. The best way I can put it, it's awkward humor of a dude that's essentially crashing out the whole time. New neighbors move in. Paul Rudd is like the cool new neighbor. He goes to hang out with him. They end up, he kind of pulls him into his friend group. He realizes that Paul Rudd's friend group is like everything he's always wanted. His son doesn't really care to hang out with him. His wife is like hanging out with her ex-boyfriend from time to time, just on a platonic level. And he's just kind of standing there taking it all as the world's just kind of slapping him down. And he's kind of a wimp about it all. So he finds this friend group and he becomes completely enamored with it to the point where it makes him have some pretty awkward interactions with them that ultimately lead to Paul Rudd's character being like, hey man, we had a couple good hangs. Maybe it's cool if we just part ways. And this dude just does not take no for an answer. He just tries to be Paul Rudd's friend the entire rest of the movie to a cringe-inducing level. And anytime he does anything to kind of ground himself and feel like he's kind of finding his way and kind of learning from these social situations and the social cues, he goes right back into like the cringe, just awkwardness. Like anytime they give him a little grace, he takes it and he just ruins it. And it's interesting because he's a character that's so well-meaning. He's never malicious. He's never really like trying to do anything wrong per se. He's just he's impulsive and he doesn't really recognize. And what the film, I think more than anything is trying to get across is this, I think it's touching on, male loneliness in the modern day, especially in the age of the internet. There's a lot of people that have this perception of what they should be or how they should be. And so then they try to do that in real life and it does not work out, or it creates these awkward encounters. And so it has these interesting things to say on a social level, but just as a comedy, it's one of those movies that you're looking at the screen like, oh, dude, like there's silence, but you're laughing because like the laughter that comes out of you eventually is because you're just looking at these scenes like, this is so cringy. And I got to see this in a packed theater, which was the best way to see it because the whole audience was just like cracking up at just the right moments. And it's not like a slapstick comedy in the way of like there's a laugh per minute. It's just like these moments where like one person would start laughing in the theater because of how cringe inducing a moment was. And then everybody else would just start laughing with each other. And it's kind of out there. I wouldn't say it's for everybody, but for me, when I think back on like memorable experiences in the theater, especially in comedy, you don't really get a lot of good comedies these days, or at least comedies for me are very hit or miss. And I think for me, when I look at Friendship, it's a unique one. It has something to say about male friendship and about, kind of the clinginess and this, that, and the third. And it's actually an autobiography based on me and Dee's friendship. And I'm just kidding.
I was waiting for it.
I'm sorry, I had to. But no, in all seriousness, it's also, it's got that it's got that A24 style to it as well in terms of the filmmaking, the cinematography. So it almost feels in a way like an art house slapstick cringe comedy that isn't more slapstick than it is cringe, but it's just an interesting watch. And I think I don't know that it's going to work for everybody, but I think it definitely works for me.
Yeah, I saw this in a pretty packed theater as well. There was a lot of laughter, and it was because of how cringe everything was. This guy, it's like, oh my gosh. It didn't end up on my top 10, but I didn't hate it. It was pretty funny. And you think it's going to go to some really dark places because it looks like it could potentially, but then it veers away from these. It's like it skates the edge of something like that. But it was, I think this is something my brothers would like because they like him. I've never heard of him before either. Myself personally. So.
Now, here's the thing, Anthony. I saw this movie by myself, so maybe I need to see it again. Maybe I need to see it with somebody because I absolutely hated this film. But because of what how you talked about it, it's like, you know what? Maybe I need to see it with like a couple friends, bring them over or something like that. Because I do like the premise. But I was like, man, I just don't like any of these characters or what's going on. So maybe I'll give it another shot, bro.
When you watched it, did you not perceive it as a comedy, or did you think?
No, I saw the trailer, so it's familiar with. That's why
definitely the trailer. Yeah, makes you okay.
Yeah.
I do think it's one that benefits from seeing it with people, but I do think it's also something that's going to be. I always say this every time I cover a comedy on my channel. It's like, films in general are already subjective, and comedy just adds this whole other layer to subjectivity where, like, you can have a really good movie like a Sinners, right, where some people aren't going to like it, but like even if they don't like it, they can be like, it's very well made. They can lean into all the positives because there are things that are just objectively true in terms of filmmaking. But comedy is just one of those things. It's either going to work for you or it's not, so I don't blame you for maybe not loving it. For me, maybe it was the audience experience, but I'm also big into cringe. I'm big into cringe humor. I'm big into.
All right, well, that makes sense.
I'm big into awkward humor. Like I love the notion of like, I think some of the funniest moments I've ever had, even in a social setting, are the cringe ones, and not in a malicious way of making somebody feel bad, but like I think even some of like the best moments I've had foundationally with friends have been a moment where somebody did something just awkward or cringe, but you all laugh about it. And then you maybe are able to bring it up in the future, Sometimes it leads to ruining friendships.
There's this new type of comedy genre where like that A24, this new generation, it's more like it's almost like a social commentary.
Right.
Where back it was either like screwball physical comedy or your Monty Python smart comedy. I don't know, which I like them all, man. I like them all.
Yeah. But definitely a social commentary, I think, for like, man, I'm a very social person. I'm not very easily made uncomfortable or awkward. Dee spent time with me in person. Like I'm not somebody who's gonna like,
what's wrong,
I don't need the eye roll.
You guys can do movie reviews in public with no problem, but poor Ryan's over there on the side.
Oh my God.
I think there needs to be some Cinematicos therapy going on over here. What do you think, Cynthia?
I feel that's what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on here, man?
Got some things that need to be hashed out, y'all.
Right.
So like, for me, it's like, and D's similar, like very easygoing, like in terms of like talking to people. And, for me, like, I'm not if somebody comes up to me and I don't know them, I'm very good at talking to them. I also work in like a customer facing job, is like my day job. So my coworkers all know Anthony's going to talk to people till the cows come home. So I'm not very uncomfortable in that way, but I'm very, very observant. And I think it's so interesting when I talk to people, when I'm like making eye contact with them and their eyes are bouncing everywhere over the room, or they try to say or do something based on like how I look to try to fit in with conversation with me, like, like about my lip piercings or my tattoos. And like, I can tell that it feels like they're putting on a performance, so to speak. And I think that this movie kind of speaks to that, right? The notion of like being performative to try to fit in. And that's something I struggle with when I see people trying to do it for me, because it just feels like we're connecting on a fake level, you know? But I think that this movie touches on how some people in the modern day, especially with social media, have just taken it a little too, you know.
Is that true, D, that you feel like you're trying to connect with on a superficial level, you and Anthony?
Not D. Listen, let's not stir it up with D. Now, D and I have always gotten on we went to a friend's wedding earlier this year in the UK, and we were sat right next to each other, and we sat right next to each other, and we were throwing the tea at each other. We were gossiping the entire time. So D and I are on the same page.
Gosh, I would have loved to have been a fly. I loved watching that video. You guys, it was so cool.
Were you guys able to go to Hampshire and visit the real Downton Abbey castle?
No, I wasn't. No. I wanted to next time. It was a limited amount of time. Did spend some time in London though. That was nice.
I'm telling you, man, I'm getting ready for that movie, man. The grand finale.
Oh yeah, that's
Can't
right.
Wait.
That's right.
Okay. All right. What do you got next, Sin?
Okay, so I guess number 2. We can go ahead and start with round 2.
Oh, we got hold on, we got production here.
I've got D's
here we go.
Poster up. Always forget about that intro. Okay, D. Number 2 for you. Here we go.
Yes, number 2 for me is Black Bag, directed by Steven Soderbergh. This is, I think you might say, this is your classic spy thriller, and it's kind of of course, it involves a husband and wife played by Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. And of course, it's kind of, we see, if you've seen any kind of espionage or spy film, there are always questions on whose side someone is on, and what do you really know about this person? And when you're a part of an industry, and I guess a career field that's built around secrets and lies and aliases and all these things, is about him trying to make sense of his wife's role. And what she's really capable of, and if what he knows about her is really what he knows about her. And I think what I really enjoyed the most about this, and I kind of say this all the time, but I am big on writing. I'm a reader. I'm also a writer, but I love dialogue-driven films. And I know that for some people, they need a little bit more. I guess it depends. Some people, because I say that because some people said that this was, this was boring, this was slow, nothing was going on. And to me, the true entertainment, at least for me, was just in the social dynamics between the characters, the things that they would say, the way that they would interact with each other, the things that were revealed about each one of them. And yes, I understand with spies, you get more like, shooting and all this other stuff. But to me, I found the dialogue and the things that they honestly said, and just like these, all of these layers being uncovered with these characters, and kind of the back and forth and the cat and mouse, and just how that came out in the end. So for me, it's I don't know. I'm not saying it's a film that was made for me, but it so aligns with the type of film that feels sophisticated and feels elevated. And I also thought it was really interesting. I said this in my actual video review, but I really loved how Steven Soderbergh, because he also did the cinematography, I loved how he made this like a modern 70s, because I thought this was set in the 70s going off of the trailer, and it wasn't. But I thought it was such a stylistic, clean, lush looking film as well. So yeah, this was an immediate yes for me when I came out the theater.
It also felt Hitchcockian to me in some ways. I really enjoyed that in that final sort of climactic scene.
Yes.
I really liked how that played out, and also a similar-ish scene earlier in the story. I liked the dialogue where all those characters were, it was an informal setting, but things got really tense.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely a good one. I remember Dee and I were having to defend it to some of our peers who threw it in the bracket of boring or slow, and I just remember going to see it myself and really enjoyed it. It's not in my top 5, but it's in my top 20 for sure. Like a great movie this year.
It's in my top 10 for right now.
That's me. Boring and slow.
Oh my goodness, Paulie, did you not put attention?
Me and Romy, we were so excited when we put this on.
Aw.
I think there's something wrong
Aw.
with me now because you guys like these films, though. I mean, like now
Maybe if you rewatch it, it'll come across a little differently.
it's a beautiful looking film. What a cast! No, the dialogue is there absolutely.
That's the second Soderbergh film of the year. Definitely the better of the two, but
Yeah, agreed.
What's
And
the
it's
other
not
one?
very long. The other one was Presence, right?
Presence.
Yeah.
Presence.
Ooh.
It's a movie that came out earlier this year. That's from it's like about a family that's house is being haunted, kind of, but it's from the first person perspective of the ghost.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. I liked it, didn't love it, but I thought that
Yeah.
Black Bag was definitely his strongest of the two.
Yeah.
And I heard that Presence, ironically, was boring from a lot of people, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, some people, and I could see why they might feel that way. It's not. I don't even know that if it's an hour and a half long.
Yeah, of the two, I think it's the movie that really lives and dies by its final moment of the film. Like
Presence.
Yeah, like its final moment. There's like a reveal of sorts that like kind of recontextualizes the whole movie. It like whether it works for you or not is dependent on that final moment, and I think the final moment is what at least kept me more in the positive. But I can see why some people would think it's boring because sometimes the ghost isn't there to scare anybody, so the ghost is just watching normal conversation, and then it just has some random things start to happen. But then again, you understand why it's happening once you see the end. But yeah, it's Black Bag was definitely his best film this year.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
Okie doke. All right. Paulie, you and Rosa.
What do we got?
You and Rosa, your number.
Okay.
Number two choice?
Real fast. Number 2.
Yeah.
Mine was 28 years later.
Oh, shoot!
It's my number 2.
I went and okay, hold on. I'll put it up. That's your number 2, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it twice. Yeah.
Oh, once was enough for me. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you trying to bring it up? Yeah. Yeah, man, I love the balance of the coming of age of Spike. Lessons from his father, lessons from his mother, and all these great supporting characters, and lovable old Hung Samson.
Oh gosh, Lord have mercy. Okay.
And the zombie baby mama, giving birth. I mean, it's some wild stuff, man. Wild. I love that it's wild, and not just the usual stuff, man. I bought it all. I was in it, and it's beautiful to watch. And I can't wait for the next one with the great, whatever that actor's name is, playing a Tommy. He also was in Sinners.
Right.
Oh, he was?
Jack O'Donnell.
He's the vampire.
Jack O'Donnell, yes.
Oh, okay.
It was Remick.
Oh, that was him. Oh gosh, I had no idea.
With the wild Teletubby gang.
Oh, I
cult.
did not know that was. I didn't. Yeah, right.
I mean, so all those wild choices in this film, and yet some very, very deep and moving takes on life and death. I mean, and it is there. Listen, there are some major plot holes, but I'm going to be forgiving of them.
Writing issues with this whole movie. And that birth scene, I cannot.
Let me just finish, then you can tear me down. All right.
Go ahead.
Let me just finish. I let Anthony and D Movieman finish, and I tried to tear them down, but I don't want to tear at their hearts. You tear at my heart, lady.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I'm done. I mean, it was very moving for me that I just didn't expect.
Okay.
It sounds extremely juvenile on my end, because I was obviously very interested in seeing this. Haven't seen Weeks or Days, which I need to do.
Oh,
but yeah, I'm still interested, but as juvenile as it sounds, hearing about the zombie sausage party was kind of a no for me. So I'm like, I have to give it time before I can subject my eyes to that, because that was a big part of the conversation. I was just like, oh no, please.
So there was a lot wrong
I think it
with
was
this
too
movie.
much of the conversation.
But yes, there was so much focus on that as far as people's reaction to it. That's the least of this film's problems. I'll just tell you that right
That's
now.
what I've heard.
There's
from
a
you.
lot wrong with this movie. And the birthing scene, I just, oof. That one scene dropped this movie significantly for me. Like
What's
that
wrong with
almost
birth, man?
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, it can like birthing and womanhood transcends everything, right? Even the rage
little
virus. Get out of here with that nonsense.
little
No,
chaos. Member of the
no.
channel is with us. Thank you.
Oof.
You know what's up. Member of
Sorry.
the channel.
Can't go there.
Props. Little chaos.
Sin,
Props.
is this a specific issue with pregnancy? I just want to be clear.
I mean, I have birthed 2 children myself, but this particular scene, mm-mm.
But
No.
your kids are Mexican, man. They don't count. Come on.
They're
man.
half Mexican, so they do
No, half of
count.
them don't.
The other half, that half, not.
Remember what I wrote? Remember what I wrote?
I remember what you wrote.
What we call you? What we call?
I'm not gonna repeat it.
What we call you,
live
gringas that
on
marry
air.
Mexicans? I got a nice name for that. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's
Right.
bring up. We got. Let's just play Rosa's audio for this her number 2 film. How about that?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
The Ballad of Wallace Island. This is a indie movie that I saw earlier this year at the Sundance Film Festival. It was one of my favorite movies. I believe I checked, and for the Slant, I wrote just a little paragraph on my favorite movies from Sundance. This movie specifically, it came in at number 5. And frankly, I'm on my number 5 of my favorite movies from Sundance. Anything below that, and 4, 3, 2, 1, I don't think none of those has released yet. Outside of Sorry Baby, which is a movie that I actually enjoyed a lot, but it didn't release until July. The movies I'm talking about were released from January 1st to the end of June. Anything released in July did not make my cut. So you're not going to see Superman here. You're not going to see anything released in July. All right. I should have clarified that at the beginning of the recording. Ugh, there you go. All right. So yeah, the Ballad of Wallace Island, it's just a very feel-good indie movie. It's currently streaming on Peacock if you want to check it out. And it's just about a wealthy guy who lives in an island. And all he wants to do, he dreams of reuniting his favorite musical duo. It's funny, it's very lighthearted, and I don't know, it's one of those films that it leaves you feeling like somebody just came and gave you just a warm hug, and it leaves you feeling nice and with a little beautiful fuzzy feeling in your stomach. That's all I can describe it.
All right, I think that's enough. That's nice. Anyone seen this film?
No, it was on my list to watch. I even had tickets to go see it that one night, and something came up, and I had to cancel the ticket. And by the time I went to go finally check it out, they had already removed it from my local theaters, so I missed out on it. But it's on my list of end of year catch up that I'm going to start doing soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anthony's basically, that's a humble brag. He's awash with screenings and screeners and so on and so forth. So he only has but so much time to make.
I know.
I gotta say, I gotta stop this right now. Well, no, I don't want to stop the bickering. I love it, but I gotta say, you guys fit right in on the Latino Slant because we all can be a little trifling with each other, but we all love each other. So keep it up, D Movie Man.
I feel like
These little
D's had it out for me ever since a few years ago. I asked him to cover the entire Jaws franchise with me. One video, one movie at a time. We were all good. The friendship was at an all-time high with Jaws. It was even still solid at Jaws 2, but Jaws 3D came around, and I feel he turned on me just by making him watch that movie.
Let me add that before that happened, and it's still on. I'm pretty sure it's still on my YouTube video. Yeah, I'm gonna go look and make sure that's the case. But I like to make it clear that way before that, I was personally, and you know, I had a physical threat given to me by Anthony because I dared to not enjoy or like Avatar: The Way of Water, and I was just like, is this where we are? Is this what this is? I was just like, oh my. So yeah, and I just kind of felt like. I just felt like, you know, Mike was getting more grace than I was in that situation. He claims that's not the case, but I was just like,
Hey,
this is
to be fair, on a weekly basis at least, our mutual friend Mike of the YouTube channel Did You See That?
Did you see that?
Gets it. You can ask him on a weekly basis. He gets at least 1 or 2 texts from me because we usually disagree on movies where I tell him that he should be imprisoned for life. Last week it was because he gave Pocahontas a 2.5 on Letterboxd, and I told him he should go to jail.
Wait,
There's just
what'd you
anytime he
call it?
watches a movie from the past that he's never seen, straight to jail. So you know,
Is this a new movie? Pocahontas?
no. Like
Oh, the older Disney one.
Oh,
our
90.
friend Mike,
Oh.
he's like famous for
I
like
thought you
not
said
having
something else.
seen.
Mike
any
hasn't
older
seen all the
movies.
things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
So
Well,
it's not
I mean,
just you, D. It's not just you. If anything, I give you a lot of grace. But I did tell you that I would throw. We would have to go throw hands over Avatar: Way of Water.
well,
I don't think it was throw hands, but I'll verify this. But go ahead. That was worse than that. Go ahead.
I honestly don't remember what I put on there, to be honest.
this Jaws
That'll
thing
be
is
in
a
our
big
that'll be in
deal.
our closing segments, and is what we're looking forward to in the rest of the year for sure.
Okay. All right.
All right. What do we got? Let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay. Number 2. My number 2 is The Life of Chuck.
Mhm.
So this is directed by Mike Flanagan, based on a Stephen King short story. It is not at all your typical Mike Flanagan / Stephen King type of story. There is a sliver of sort of supernatural-ish stuff going on, but that's not really what this is about. It's told in 3 parts, 3 acts, and it starts from the end and it works its way backwards to Act 1, which is when you finally fully figure out what the heck has been happening. It's just, it was extremely touching to me. And that final scene, that final moment, where we find out this whole sort of mystery that has been looming over the film, oh, that just crushed my heart in all the right ways. And yeah, it elicited a tear or two from me for sure. And it's so life affirming. And it's just a beautiful movie. Some people might feel it's too slow, it's boring or whatever. It's not something that moves at breakneck speed. At the beginning, though, something terribly scary is happening.
Yes.
The world is ending, the universe is collapsing, and it's like, holy crap. Well, this is absolutely horrifying. I would never want to be around when something like that happens. And then by the time it's done, you realize what's really been going on, and it's so well crafted. And Mike Flanagan, love his work so much. So yeah, this was the movie that bumped Sinners out of the number 2 spot, because it just killed me. It was so good. So yeah, that's my number 2. And
Solid
Anthony,
pick. I remember that
yours
you were. I had seen it, or I was about to see it. No, I had just seen it, and you were on my show, Random Rambling, on my channel, and you were going to see it like the next day or something.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw your Letterboxd score, and I was like, oh, wow, she really liked it. She ended up really, really liking it. So, yeah, I liked it. Very, very solid movie for sure. Not in my top 10, but a solid flick without a doubt.
Yeah, it just, I guess it all depends on maybe the moment in time that you're watching something and how it hits you and what's going on in your own life and the things you're thinking about while you're watching it. Maybe that makes all the difference. I don't know.
Well, and then Mike Flanagan's just such a great director. He's been so consistent in the last few years of just like all the like horror stuff he's done for Netflix and just like in general. Well, especially I'll just love how he works with a lot of the same cast as well for a lot of his movies, you know. And I was disappointed to hear that he was only writing and producing, but not directing the upcoming Clayface for DC Studios. I wish he was directing that film too, but he is writing and producing it from what I understand. But I think he would be great as a director for that story. But yeah, in general, he's a great filmmaker, and he definitely shows like his skills in this film as well.
Well, he has a good way of, so, you know, obviously he's mostly horror stuff, but he has a really good way of infusing that with a lot of heart and emotion.
Yes.
And boy, that is on overload here. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So good.
I was gonna say I said this in my annotated review for this, but Mike Flanagan is doing I guess a limited series for Carrie, and I'm really excited to see what he does with that because I've already seen at least a couple of castings, and I was just like, I'm really excited to see what he does with that.
Gosh.
And then as far as the film, because at least initially I wasn't sure what the tone was or where the film was landing. I said in my reaction was just like I had this strange because I think some of us have seen films or Oscar bait type films that can feel like they're trying to push for emotion or it's more weighty and more deep and more thought provoking than it really was. And at the beginning, I was kind of like, is this what we're doing? I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this.
Oh.
And then once we got to the end, and I really and it took me a minute because I was a little scattered trying to make sense of what was going on. Sin understands this because when we watched, what's that horror comedy movie?
Tucker and Dale.
Yes, because I was like baffled. I was just like, I assumed it was like, I can't think, but like the horror zombie spoofs or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of those. And then I was just like, wait.
What is going on here?
Right. So that it kind of threw my experience off. But no, walking away from it, even when I was watching it, even when I didn't 100% get everything in it, I really enjoyed it. So yeah.
It's something like, don't try to think too hard about it. Just go with it. You will understand it by the time it's done. Just enjoy and soak in the loveliness of the story. And Mark Hamill's acting. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm going to nominate him for Best Supporting Actor whenever award stuff comes around for GAFCA, because just that one conversation he had with his grandson about math.
Yeah.
I was just like so drawn into it. It's like, yeah, you're making me actually like math a little bit. It's beautiful, beautiful movie, y'all.
I need to check it out. I didn't get. Really Sin was like, get to the theater and see it.
It only stayed in the theater like half a second, so it was actually the Regal Mystery Movie, and I missed it because I think I was out of town or something and I couldn't see it. So Deleted and Wilkie's Movies and Music, they had seen it and they talked about it, and that made me feel like, okay, I think I'm gonna enjoy this. So I went to go see it the following Saturday and just loved it.
Yeah. So where are we now?
We're with Anthony's number 2. I'm going to go ahead and pop that up on the stage.
Whoa, let's go, Anthony.
All right, here we go.
So yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. It's funny that I was talking about original films earlier, and this is my number 2. But I think I should preface this by saying that I think what you want out of a remake is going to be dependent on you. And I think most of us would agree remakes don't need to happen in general. Let's keep things original. Let's, let the originals be what they are. But the reality is we are in the age of these live action remakes. They're happening. I don't necessarily think that an animated film from 2010 needed a remake, but here we are. When I heard it was being made, though, and I heard that it was being directed by Dean DeBlois, who did the original trilogy of How to Train Your Dragon, I was immediately kind of like, all right, that's a different move. I look at the second highest grossing film this year, which is Lilo and Stitch. And I think a lot of people's issues with that film, while I enjoyed it for what it was, it's definitely not as good as the original. And it typically never is. I think part of it was they made too many changes. And so you're going to have different camps when it comes down to these remakes. You either want things to be different enough to warrant its existence, or you want it to be exactly as you remembered it. And then sometimes in an attempt to do that, it ends up being, kind of like a mixed bag. I think bringing Dean DeBlois back to remake his own film in live action was the perfect choice. He honors what he made perfectly. And if you love that first film, which I think is like essentially a perfect animated film, it is that movie exactly how you know it, with some expansions on character beats. They were able to tackle Hiccup and his father's story. And for anybody who's unfamiliar with How to Train Your Dragon, even though the original film came out in 2010, it centers on an island called the Isle of Berk. It's a bunch of Vikings that hate dragons. They're just dragon hunters. The dragons come over here and there and raid their camp. And this one kid, Hiccup, is the son of the leader, the chief of these Vikings, but he's like the biggest wimp. He does not know how to fight dragons. He has nobody looks to him for rescue. And one day he actually brings down one of the most sought after dragons that nobody knows what it looks like. It's the one that's in that poster there that he ends up naming Toothless. And he builds a bond with this dragon and learns that these dragons are more than the Vikings think they are. And he ends up building this friendship and is able to kind of show the Vikings that, you know, these dragons are not the feared monsters that they have, you know, made them out to be. And, you know, it's a story with heart. It's a story with charm. It's very reminiscent of things like The Iron Giant or even something like Lilo and Stitch, right? A character finding some sort of creature of some sort and building this unlikely bond. E.T. is another great example. And I think for me, when I look at this film, you just have a really strong like adaptation of the original source material. It looks exactly like the original film. It feels like the original film. They brought John Powell back to do the musical score. So the music's there and there's elements that are shot for shot. So if you're a fan of that original film, the edits are the exact same as that original film. And it just feels like it honors what came before in a way that's like, hey, listen, I'm in a place now where more often than not, I watch a live action remake. I take what I can get, but I always am going to go to the animated one. This one has me in a place where it's like, what am I feeling today? Am I feeling animated? Am I feeling live action? Either way, I feel like I'm going to get the same thing out of it. And you don't usually feel that when it comes down to these remakes. So that's why I have it here. I think it's an incredible time. I've seen it twice in theaters now and loved it both times.
Okay. Have you guys seen that? Polly, D?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. I have. Oh, Polly went away.
I have not, but it was on Rosa Parra's top 10, and
Okay.
she considers it one of the best live action animated like adaptations ever, and she's a huge fan of the existing IP. So that's, you know, I was like, whoa, okay. She absolutely loved it, and she saw it at CinemaCon, I believe, because they played it at CinemaCon. So,
Right.
But yeah, I think that was like her number 7, bro. So yeah, there you go.
Okay. Cool. All right. I think we're okay. We're not at number 1. I started downloading everybody's worst while we were talking, but I guess now we're ready to hit our number 1.
Are we ready for number 1?
Ready for number 1.
OMG. I got video. Here we go.
Okay. Okay, this is going to feel a little repetitive because this is D's number 1.
Why are you in black?
Oh, this happens sometimes when video is played. My camera craps out. So I'll work on getting it fixed, but I'm going to go ahead and pop D's up for now so we can go ahead and start talking about it. All right, here we go.
Yes, Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler and starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael A. Jordan and a bunch of other actors. You know what? I mean, I really, again, I said it all in my review, but for me, I think that Ryan Coogler is already a director I highly respect, and I understand that when it comes down to life or a director or anything else, there's really no one that can do no wrong. But Ryan Coogler, much like Mike Flanagan, I just kind of feel like they just have me excited to watch, you know, what they have coming out. And I just thought there was something just about how this was crafted on so many levels. And there was so much I enjoyed about it the first time, but when I went back and watched it the second time, oh my gosh, all these things I didn't notice and pick up on, like all these kind of nuances, all these details, like all of these things. I thought it was just so well made. I thought the cast was excellent. I thought the score was out of this world. Like there was so much about it that I love that I can't even really put into words because I'd be going on all day. But I just love seeing, I've said this before, but you know, I love seeing my community, of course, in stories like this, in a sense that we don't necessarily get to see these different genres and things like that. But also, I loved seeing, and what I really appreciated the second time was, because I think I said initially, like, oh, you know, it takes a minute to get to, you know, that vampire part of the story. But watching it the second time, the best elements of it for me were actually before the vampire. So like, even if it was its own film, I found the community and the characters and, you know, their interactions and all that so rich and so dynamic and so interesting that really, you know, the vampire piece is kind of like an additional, ooh, what's this? But yeah, so much of it was already so well made. The camera work between the two, you know, between the two stores. Yeah. So Sinners is it for me. I understand for some people like the horror part doesn't hold up, but to me it's like it combines so many things for me that works. And to me it's beyond horror, but it also is the horror at the same time. Yeah. I loved it.
Good pick. All right. Go ahead and remove Polly. You're gone again. Polly.
Go, I'm here.
It's Rosa and you now.
Okay.
You're number one.
Rosa's best was 28 Years Later.
Oh shoot.
And she was like myself. I remember her being very moved. You can check out a lot of what we're talking about, guys. You can check out on either our website or on our YouTube channel. She did a really good reaction to 28 Years Later. So yeah, that's her number one movie so far of 2020. What are we? 2020. I want to say 2028.
2025. We're not there yet.
Yeah. Mine was F1. So, and I recently rewatched it again. It is, I'm just gonna, before I bring up this image of bias, right? I know I'm pretty biased with this image, but before I bring it up, F1, I think you'd said something earlier, Anthony, like it's a simple story. I think it's really easy to throw that away, because Hollywood can't even tell simple stories anymore. And this was told so well. Even each race extended the story, pushed the story along. It was just remarkable, I thought, from just to even just the little, the little things, just like how wonderful Damon Idris, is that Damon Idris?
Yeah,
Damson. Yeah.
Damson, his mother. She's fantastic. And she that was a great example of a character like barely in the movie, but what's written, she like went all the way with it, from her admiring Sonny Hayes to putting him down to it was great. And all these characters had him. Bardem, Condon, even the sleazebag that was on the board. But at the end of the day, it's Brad Pitt, it's Sonny Hayes. That has been, that never was. And I'm a sucker for those types of stories. He's the ultimate dreamer, the ultimate seeker of the next high. And yeah, he kind of like he's kind of ruined his life, his past life with it. But you just love him so much. You're along for the ride, and those very little things, from the things that his father taught him, to the little trinkets that he has, to his addiction and his isms, which I appreciated as a guy who's always working that shit out. So very, like Anthony said, a very simple, straightforward story, but there's so many layers there. And we even talked about the great Jerry Bruckheimer and the production of the blockbuster, man. And here's my biased brother. I met the man himself the other night.
Saw that.
Jerry Bruckheimer, man. We did.
Look at you.
They did the Q&A. Look at my stupid face. How happy I was. And I'm like, excuse me, Jerry, can I get a selfie? He's like, yeah, sure. And he does his little Zoolander look. So yeah, man. It's the best blockbuster movie of the year. It's my most entertaining film of the year, and it was like a Top Gun. And Joseph was there doing the Q&A. Mm-hmm. So thumbs up there. There you go.
Great movie. I'm hearing myself again, y'all.
Okay, what do we got next?
Okay, so now we are we're at our number one.
You want to play that video again?
Oh wait.
We've already been on number one now.
Yeah.
But you want I want me to play number one for you?
No, I haven't done. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm sitting here down.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. I'm listening with one ear and downloading posters for everybody with the other, and it's distracting. So it's my turn for my number one. Y'all, okay, anybody who knows me should already know what my number one is going to be. Nothing's been able to topple this baby. Better Man.
Nice.
Fantastic movie, you guys. So I fortunately already knew who Robbie Williams was when I saw this. This is a biopic of Robbie Williams, except he is presented in here as well, as you see, like a monkey, chimp, whatever the heck. And some people had problem kind of getting past this. They thought he was supposed to literally be a monkey. My mom had the hardest time understanding this that it's symbolic. It's how he feels about himself, that he is unevolved, and he had a lot of issues. This is an extremely dark film. It extensively covers his mental health and substance abuse problems, but it's already, but also like at its core, it's a film about redemption. And it's so beautiful. It's a musical. I'm not a fan of musicals, not a huge fan of biopics. I'm glad I knew Robbie Williams because some people are like, who is Robbie Williams? Doesn't matter. You don't really need to know who he is. But I feel like knowing him already helped me appreciate this movie even more. I cry every single time I watch this movie, and I think I've seen it about 6 times already this year. I saw it twice on the big screen. Love the musical numbers. I think this movie works so well with him being presented this way, better than it would have if we had a human face shown to us. First, there is something about the way his character, the facial expressions, the way his eyes convey his emotion, it just hits you. For me, it hits you harder than I think a human face could do. And I can't explain it. I don't know why. I just know you just go with it, you know? Don't try to think too hard about it. And don't let kids watch this. This is definitely a rated R, very, very dark film. So you're going to see scenes of things being taken and stuff happening, not appropriate for young eyes, but lovely movie. I have worn the heck out of that soundtrack, y'all. Worn the heck out of it. My son, we get in the car and it's on. He's like, "Oh, Better Man again." So yeah, highly encourage you guys to check this out. Paulie, you haven't seen it yet, have you?
But my only thing is that this movie came out last year, dog.
No, it did not. Officially, it came out January 2025 in the U.S. I am counting it as a 2025 film. I don't care what anybody says.
Because of your excitement, I'm going to see this film.
I've been trying to get you to watch this film since I saw it. I've been working on you for more than half a year.
I don't think you understand what I'm doing right now. Besides running the Slant, I'm rewatching every episode of Downton Abbey to get ready for the grand finale.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever. But you've had months. Let
me tell you, man, season 4 is trash. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. I'm so upset, D.
That's exactly why I can't continue it. That's the problem. Like,
oh, really?
At the end of season 3, I was just like, how dare you? Like, I can't handle this. No.
I'm beside myself. I'm so upset. I hate what they did to Anna. I hate what they did to Anna.
Which is why I can't bring because I know that happens. And I'm just like, of all the characters, even, I'm not saying it would be great to see regardless, but you're going to have that happen on top of no. And then O'Brien is gone. I just,
O'Brien, yeah, I'm going to go back to the Gilded Age. Okay, I'm sorry. I derailed the...
I mean, I feel you, man. There's a few moments like that in Downton Abbey just because of either story choices or because people were leaving the show. Of course, there's like a very famous death that happens at the end of one season that's super abrupt, and it's like amidst like the happiest moments, and it leads into the next season where you're just like, oh my god. But hey, listen, I'll give them this. They keep the drama up. I did a rewatch of the whole series at the beginning of this year, showing my wife for the very first time, and I was just in love the entire time rewatching it.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. This is all on me. But I don't got time for Better Man when when I'm crying over the death of Matthew Crawley. So stop it.
Listen, Linda, you've had many months. to watch this.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Please, it's like 2 hours and something. It's so much easier
Well,
than
I gotta get
trying
ready.
to watch a
I'm
whole
getting ready
series.
for September 12th because I still got these other seasons to get through. I've never seen them, and then the 2 movies. So maybe I'll get me and D-Man, and we'll do a recap of the entire series and the movies before we go and see grand finale.
My parents love Downton Abbey. I think they've seen all of the seasons and
Who's
then the
down-
first movie, but I don't think they've.
Who's down to do that? You guys want to do that with me?
So so the ironic thing is that Anthony just asked me that, like the same exact thing a couple of days ago, and
Oh, really?
yeah, and what
That's
I
so
told him
funny.
was
That's
he
funny.
needs to find someone else to do it because I literally stopped at season 3. So,
Oh.
but
What?
now you have Anthony, you guys can do it together. 'Cause I
You
said
and
I'm
Anthony,
I'm
yes.
down, dude. I'm
Do
down.
that. Yeah.
All right,
that'd be
we'll do the
cool.
Gilded Age. We'll do the Gilded Age. D, we'll do the Gilded Age.
So you guys will do the Gilded Age.
Yeah, me
like,
and Anthony will
D
do
will
Dalton.
Dalton
And I'd like
Abbey.
to do Dalton because everyone around me is like, it's downtown. I'm like,
No, it's Downton.
No, it is
well,
not.
they know it is, but they're like giving me the business.
Oh my gosh. No, okay. I'm glad. I'm sorry. I started laughing because I was like, I got thrown off because I was like, please don't tell me you just dumped or X'd out Anthony to do something, and you're just saying like, oh no, we'll just do the good. I was like, oh, that's
No.
not
Me
No,
because me and Anthony were talking about Downton like the other day,
right.
and but I know you're doing your Gilded Age,
Yeah.
and I watched yours because I was like, I just discovered the show, and I'm like,
Oh.
wait a minute, that's Fellows. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry,
Okay.
guys. Where are we? Sid?
All right, we got way off track of Robbie Williams and how beautiful Better
We're
Man
with,
is.
We're with the man.
It's
Anthony.
Anthony's turn.
Yeah.
It's
All
Anthony's
right,
turn now.
he deserves this. Hold on a second.
This is his number one.
Here, hold
Here we
on.
go.
And 3, 2.
Okay, here we go.
All
This is repetitive again, but here we are.
Yeah. So really quickly though, I do want to I asked what's it called? I asked for Sin to go ahead of me because there is a caveat on my number one. My number one would be Better Man as well. I love the film. I've seen it 7 or 8 times. 4 or 5 of those were in theaters. Easily my favorite film of that released in the States in 2025. However, I received a press invite and a screener to watch the film in 2024 for its awards run because it did qualify with a very limited release in literally only LA and New York City in order for it to qualify for awards. So if you watched the Oscars earlier this year, which D and I did a live reaction of on my channel, Better Man was nominated for Best Visual Effects. And so I watched it twice in 2024 and gave it my top prize of Best Movie of the Year in 2024. So I made the personal choice to omit it, even though its official release is 2025. I chose to omit it for myself because I felt it would be unfair because of how much I love this film. And like Sin, I have listened to the soundtrack of this movie on repeat countless times. And listen, no shade towards Sin. I totally understand why it qualifies. I kind of did the same thing with the Brazilian film I'm Still Here. I actually had the chance to see I'm Still Here at the tail end of 2024. I missed out on it, but then I got sent a screener for it just ahead of its American release, but it did win Best International Picture of 2024 at the Oscars. So I chose to omit that one as well. So yeah, I just wanted to say all that. So my number one is Sinners, and we've already said so much on Sinners, so I won't waste much time so we can get to the worst movies. But yeah, just an incredible film. I think that Ryan Coogler is a fantastic director, consistently shows why. It's a film with so many deeper messages, and it uses the horror vampire element in a way where you can watch the film, and it is just a vampire film for some people. I've seen some people come away with it solely with that takeaway, but it also uses the whole vampirism element also to make some social commentaries about race and about culture and different things like that. And I thought that was a really interesting way to kind of approach things. And yeah, there's those little details. I actually saw a video not too long ago, and I rewatched the film not too long ago, showing it to my wife for the first time. But I watched a video not too long ago where somebody pointed out that Remick has a wedding ring on, which I felt only just added to the whole experience, right? Like that he wants to tap into that musical ability so he can see his ancestors and maybe to see his wife, you know, so maybe gives you a different perspective of the villain in that situation, you know. So it's a movie that's got layers, incredible sound design, incredible set design, does all the things as a period piece that you needed to do to take you back to the past. I see Brian McCann has commented a few times that Sinners is just a remake of Dusk Till Dawn, and it's just not, you know, like it's absolutely not. It's the only thing about it that is similar to Dusk Till Dawn is that maybe the color palette, the fact that there's vampires, and the fact that there's two brothers in the lead and like big leading roles. Outside of that, nothing about its narrative structure, or its characters are at all reminiscent. And I think to call Dusk Till Dawn just a remake of, or call Sinner just a remake of Dusk Till Dawn, kind of just is undercutting so much that this film does. And I think there is a huge reason why this film has been such a success with audiences. I think audiences are eating it up because it feels fresh, it feels new, it revitalizes the vampire genre, which has been oversaturated for a long time, and for a huge chunk of time was made into kind of like a joke for many with like the Twilight franchise. And that's not to dig into the Twilight fans, you know, whatever. I understand the appeal of that, but the fact is, you can't give me another vampire film that's come out in the last decade that has the same unique energy that Sinners does. It's a genre that's been oversaturated, and just we've even got a bunch of Dracula films in the last few years, you know, that like some of them were cool, some of them were fun, but like I guess maybe Nosferatu would probably be the closest one outside of Sinners. But you know, I think Sinners does something really fresh and really original. But with all that said, in my heart, my true number one of the year is Better Man. I saw some people commenting that they can't get past the ape element of the film.
Oh,
it's such you have to just watch the movie. It makes sense. It's a metaphor. It's a visual metaphor, but it is so well done. Incredible performances, incredible special effects, incredible music, incredible dance numbers, incredible cinematography, and a rich story. And if you're like me, and I know Dee knows this about me more than part of the rest of you, but who's somebody who struggled with mental health issues, self-hatred, anxiety, depression. That's something I've dealt with a lot. On the surface, Better Man looks like a typical biopic with a monkey at the center of it. When you watch the film, it has so many deep-rooted elements about substance abuse, about depression, about anxiety, about self-hatred. One element that I think that the marketing never showed of the film is that from a very young age, Robbie Williams was telling himself that he hates himself and that he's nothing. And throughout the course of the film, at every point of success, he just sees younger versions of himself in the audience telling him he's going to die, that he's a waste of space.
How terrible he is, yeah.
And as somebody who deals with that, you know, Dee knows this, and not to go on a tangent here, but last year I had to take an L away from my job because I was so lost in my brain that I suddenly was like having nonstop panic attacks, like where I literally could not sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't keep food down. I was like, my heart was racing, like probably about 22 hours out of the 24 hours a day. And it was rough. I had to go to the doctor. I was like, what is going on? Am I having a heart attack? And it turns out like the way it was explained to me was I had so much pent up anxiety that it just all exploded at one time. And my body was just like, it was having its own way with it. And Better Man came out shortly after for me, you know, and it became the situation where it was like, man, like this movie just, it really sung to me. So I think, you know, while it's a great movie on its own, it's also a movie that I think can be very relatable to people if you're somebody who deals with those things. So yeah, Better Man, I've seen people ask in the comments. Better Man is available on Amazon Prime right now and is also available on Paramount Plus. And then of course you can
MGM Plus,
that's my
Different
very long-winded
places.
number one.
That's great, man. That's fantastic. Thank you. You guys can hit the replay, watch everyone's, and we'll do the chapters, you know, as far as like what. But
round
we
one.
want to get your comments now, Sin. So we got a bunch of started comments. Let's try to rifle through these.
Yeah.
And then, guys, we got the worst of 2025 so far.
And it looks to me, Paulie, that it's only going to be Anthony, Dee, and me going over this because I didn't see a worst list for you unless I.
No.
Okay,
I mean,
and nothing from Rosa
I
either.
might jump in. You know, I told you. Yeah. All right, let's go on. All right, here we go. I'll read these guys. Let's get some reactions from the panel. Bring Her Back is on my list. A good Australian horror film from Jason Webster.
Yeah, it's a great one.
I wanted to love this, and I felt like this was a bit of a downgrade from their freshman film, Talk to Me, unfortunately. And I had a completely opposite experience about weapons. Felt like an upward trajectory with weapons.
Right.
So,
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I think it's very well made. I would say, and I do appreciate again that it's them having a distinct vision of horror. The only thing I would say is just that it has, I think its tone and its resolution and everything is a little bit different. And I think that because Talk to Me and Sin and I are not fans of the possession genre, but I think the way that came together for us kind of hit a certain way. And so it's not that this film is bad, it's just that it operates it functions in a different way. And so it is not, so it didn't quite live up to what the first one did, but that also just speaks to how well they made that film. And I'm still interested to see what they're going to do, going forward.
oh yeah, for sure. Especially the sequel, Talk to Me.
Yes. Yep.
Pete Dencant, what's happening, brother? I also watched The Life of Chuck. Such a lovely film.
Yes.
Yes.
Little Chaos, member of the channel. Talk to Me was great. They overcame the sophomore slump. Okay, there you go. I agree. Bim Block. I can't read that. My number one movie so far is Kakuha. Anyone familiar?
Not heard of that one.
Haven't
No.
heard that one.
Kakuha. We're gonna look it up. I got all these movies. I got so much. I'm so far behind. It's not even crazy. That's why I'm like, you know what? Let me just put Down Abbey on. And deleted scenes. What up? What up?
Deleted.
What up? What up? What up? Jason Webster for 5 Australian didgeridoos. Thank you so much. The South Korean horror comedy My Daughter is a Zombie is my favorite comedy film release of 2025.
Haven't heard of that one either.
Yeah, same.
I gotta write these down. Film Rex. My Daughter Zombie. All right, thank you. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate that. Little Chaos is back. Life of Chuck on Hulu is on Hulu. I think I might check it out.
Yeah,
Please do.
Yeah. It said exactly the same thing, exactly the same time.
Donovan Bradford says, jokes on you, Anthony. On hits from The Great Escape. No four walls can hold me. Kugler King 2.0 right here, mate.
He said that because I'm struggling to remember. He said that he didn't like something, and I was riffing on that joke. I said to D, I told him straight to jail.
Oh, okay.
Straight to jail. Brian McCann is here. He's a member of the channel. Tucker and Dale fights evil. Most excellent.
Versus evil. Yeah.
Versus
Very-
evil.
Yeah,
All right.
very good
That's
film.
that's the problem. I was waiting for the evil. I wasn't able to let that go for a while.
You should rewatch it and then just see the pure comedy in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Donovan's back. He says, like Americana, I wanted to see that, but I can't find it anymore, which sucks because barely
Yeah.
saw ads for it and Eden.
Yeah, it's a shame. Americana, I thought was pretty solid. I really enjoyed that movie.
Well, I know it's going to have a big digital release, I believe, in a few weeks, right?
Yeah, anytime. It just came out in theaters, but it's not going to be there long.
Yeah.
It didn't perform well.
Brian, with a membership chat, he's been a member for 31 months. Polly loves Zorro the Gay Blade. That actually was a good movie. I remember as a little
seen
kid. I haven't seen it since I was a little kid, so now I got to rewatch it. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for re-upping your membership. Much love. Donovan's back. 30 years ago, Sinners honestly could have been classified as an adventure because it's a couple of genres mixed together. Not just horror music, but great action and romance.
Yeah, and some pretty sad stuff too, about loss.
Yeah.
Agreed. Sinners is one of my favorite of the year. Got to rewatch it for a second time. I listened to the soundtrack and I'm looking forward to the expanded universe coming soon.
Oh my gosh. I have to admit that one morning, I can't remember if that was before I went to work, but Pale Pale Moon came on and I literally had to stop what I was doing. And I like the music anyway, but for some reason it just hit me a certain way. And then Rocky Road to Dublin. The music is all of that in a bag of chips.
Oh, wonderful. Sinners is Dust Till Dawn remake. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
So,
we've addressed that already.
so Polly, the check cashed in, huh? Yeah, yes. Big Bruckheimer check here. Everyone's getting a raise here on the slant. Hey, Sin, love this movie. There you go, from Jennifer, from Jen.
Nice.
All right, here's the check. $2 check. We love it. $1.50 after YouTube gets a hold of it. Brian, you're a member of the channel, so I'm not gonna give you too much crap. But $2 for real? What kind of check is that? I live in California. $2 not even a tank of gas, brother.
Nowhere close, I'm sure.
Sin has great takes. Little Chaos says. Polly, you're starting to sound like a Supernatural fan. Hello.
Oh, it's when you're talking about Downton Abbey, I think.
Well, I don't care about Robbie Williams, so no, better man for me.
You know, that's what Will,
brutal.
the drinker, told me. And I was like, you know, I just hope you give it a chance. I mean, he spent so much time watching things that he knows he's going to hate. I wish he would watch something that he might actually, you know, enjoy more often than not. I think maybe he just doesn't like Robbie Williams. I get it. If there were a movie about Madonna, I would refuse to watch it. So I guess I can understand to an extent. But yeah.
I would also like to make it clear that although the person said that Sin has great takes, I would also like to make it clear many a time that Sin has mean takes as well.
I do have mean takes.
I mean, a lot of mean takes.
I do.
In fact,
sometimes.
more mean, more hate than love.
That is not true at all.
And Brian's back. Yep, I don't care about Robbie Williams either. Better Man sucks because the ape chimp crap alone. Whoa, hot take.
I think he meant the CGI, but no, it's actually really good. Did you watch it?
Part of the movie. It's honestly like it's funny. I just got a coworker to watch it the other day after just like I become the better man guy at my job. Like I'll just slip in a conversation about Better Man, and they're just like, oh, here it goes again. But anybody who I've gotten to watch it loved it, and a coworker just saw it the other day, and they were weird about the monkey thing too. And they said right after they watched the movie that that like the whole movie would not work without the ape element, and I totally agree. Like it would just feel like another biopic, but the ape element gives it gives it an identity that's just so unique.
Yep, agree.
I love K-pop Demon Hunters. It's on my list of best films of 2025.
I've heard so much about that.
Haven't seen that yet. Yeah, same.
I loved it. So fun. Yeah. Oh, Sin's to blame. Such a shame. What?
I'm not sure what that was a reference to, D.
No, because we had that whole discourse, and you were saying like, all this happened because I brought up Better Man and da 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 da, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm like, Sin's to blame.
Oh yeah, it's my fault. That's right. It's always my fault.
Sinners is overrated in my opinion. Ugh, Sinners is just a remake of Dust Till Dawn.
Again.
You guys are getting it. You guys are getting it. Nosferatu was an excellent horror movie. Sinners was great on a different level for me.
Agree.
Varied opinions here. Love it. Where can I stream Better Man or Bedded Man?
Better.
Not to be confused with Mookie Betted Man. Anyone get that Dodger joke? No? Okay.
Nope.
Right. Let's move on. Oh my God, Rosa Parra is listening. Hello.
Hey, Rosa.
I don't do worst of the year list. I try to stay positive and use my energy in a productive manner. I'll write critical reviews, but quickly move on from them. Smiley face. Yeah, whatever, dude. We've seen your Jurassic World after.
I agree with you, Rosa, about that Jurassic.
Same, because
let's say Rosa, stay positive with War of the Worlds or Honey Don't.
I've heard about War of the Worlds.
The Jurassic World, she just ripped it apart, man. She ripped it apart. So that's, we could say that's one of her least liked films so far of the year.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I want to thank you for those super chats, those comments, the membership comments. You guys are fantastic. And do we have video clips in this one? We still. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys are, well, thank you. All right. Here's what I did. Sin.
Okay.
I put all your worst lists, Sin, Anthony, D Movie Man, in one comment. So what I'd like to do is, you call the order. Let's bring up all 5 of your worst movies. You guys just rifle through them.
Oh wait, I'm
and
sorry.
then- so they're gonna do 1 to 5. They're gonna go 5 to 1. They're just gonna read them all, the worst. I don't want to do
Just
like the
all at
round.
time.
Read
The round
them
again is
out
just gonna
loud.
take another 2 hours.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So they're just going to say the name. You don't need me to.
Well,
pop
I'm
a
gonna bring it
poster.
up.
Oh, you'll bring it up. Okay.
And I do have my worst, but I'm very, very curious. Okay, who wants to go first?
Okay, you don't need to go after me anymore, do you, Anthony?
No,
Or
I
do
can
you
go
still
first
wanna-
if you guys want.
Okay, take it away.
All
All
right,
right, here we go.
cool.
There
Oh,
we
this
go.
is
Wait,
Anthony.
Wait.
Anthony.
Here, Anthony.
I could be D Movie Man.
Here we go. There it is.
All right, so number 5 for me is The Surfer. It's a film that stars Nicolas Cage and unfortunately the recently passed Julian McMahon, who I actually thought was pretty good in the film. Nicolas Cage is great in the film as well, but yeah, this was one that just for me was one. You ever just watch one of those movies that just is trying to be kind of weird and zany and trippy and just I don't know about you guys, but in the modern day, I'm done watching so many movies that are just trying to be artistic by being like trippy and visuals. And I will say this, in terms of cinematography, in terms of color palette, it's great. One of the things I said in my review, I actually have those Govee lights on my TV where there's a camera at the top of the TV. It scans the screen colors, and then the lights behind the TV match the colors that are
cool.
on the screen. So it's great when I'm watching a film in the dark and it's really immersive. If there's like, I don't know, I'm watching like a Star Wars movie and somebody swooshes like a red lightsaber across the screen, like the lights behind the TV will kind of clash with that. So this movie, Surfer, had some really great moments of cinematography, some trippy sequences with a lot of greens, a lot of blues, a lot of reds. And so visually watching it at night too was really, really cool to see. But just narratively, it's just so all over the place, and it just didn't work for me. So Surfer's number 5. At number 4, I have a film called Hysteria. Now, Hysteria is a film I got to see out of the Berlin Film Festival earlier this year. They sent me an early screener for it. And at times I thought it was interesting because it's about I can't remember exactly what country it takes place in right now off the top of my head. Of course, I should have had that prepped. But it's about a film that's being that's being filmed in this country, and there's a Quran that's part of a set that they're building, like an actual Quran, the religious text, and it creates this controversy, and like there's people that are coming after the filmmakers, and so the whole film kind of builds up to this finale where it's kind of just about like as the title would suggest, hysteria, and how like the fear and the blaming of who did what and who did this is kind of causes like this mass like chaos where nobody wins in this situation. And so the film, I think, had interesting things to say. It was well acted, it was well put together, but it just ultimately meandered for majority of the film. Like it's just one of those that like I was looking at the runtime like, oh my god, this is dragging, this is so slow, and it really isn't until the final few minutes of the film that it really worked for me. So yeah, Hysteria is my number 4. Number 3 is a film that went to Shudder this year called Shadow of God. And to change it up, instead of a man being possessed by a demon or by a devil, maybe you guys would like this because you guys don't like possession films. It's actually about a man who is possessed by God. And it's just this weird horror story. But like, here's the craziest part, and I've said this before in my other reviews. That poster right there that you see right there, nothing like that happens in the movie. There is no character that looks like that. That's possessed, contorted. Like, that's not in the film. That is solely a poster for the sake of trying to pull you in. The movie was just mediocre on all levels. The special effects, the characters, the acting, just everything about it was so forgettable. At number 2, I have a film called, another one that I got out of the Berlin Film Festival, called How to Be Normal and the Oddness of the Other World. Now it follows a character who's like coming out of a mental hospital and being released back to her parents, and in a lot of ways, kind of like what I was talking about with Better Man, it's it's a film about like fitting in. It's a film about like overcoming mental instabilities and different things like that. But the movie again just meanders and sometimes just goes for bizarre and goes for trippy in this sense of coming off artistic, and ultimately just never does. it really doesn't get exciting until the final 10 minutes. And even at that point, it wasn't incredible. The performances are good, but there really wasn't much to it on a character level that I'll ever think about beyond doing a worst of list. And then the final one for me is a film called Rats. This movie was, so if you look at IMDb, it'll say that it premiered at a festival. I want to say like 2023 or 2024, but it had no official release for the general public until this year. I got sent an early screener to check it out. And one of the things that immediately pulled me in was that the soundtrack of the film is all punk rock or metalcore, like hardcore, like screamo music. And as a big fan of metal, I was like, cool, you don't really see that too often unless it's kind of like just for a moment, you know? So I will say this, it was pretty cool to see like a movie that had that going for it. But at the end of the day, this was the film that was just trying to be funny by being big and loud and having these big gross out effects. I talked about it a little bit when we talked about it a couple weeks ago when we were doing this Slant. I don't know if it was the last time or what it was, but when we did this episode of Los Cinematicos, there's
remember
a scene in this movie where a police officer that's like, there's like a really loud, obnoxious like chick that's a police officer in the film that's going after one of these guys throughout the course of the film. And at one point she goes, and it's very crude. It's going for crude. It's like this character's like, hey, I'm the police officer. Like that's essentially the voice she's putting on. Like it's very ridiculous. It's going for this slapstick comedy, excuse me. And she goes to the bathroom and goes to drop a deuce, and the camera is like in the toilet, and it's like a practical effect of this woman's like butthole as she is like dropping a deuce onto the camera. Like it's meant to be gross out, over the top, like, slapstick humor. The story was a mess. The humor fell flat. The music was cool to listen to, but it wasn't necessarily some of my favorite music in the genre. On one hand, I appreciate the like low budget, like a lot of practical effects, especially in moments of gore. Like I can appreciate that. But the way that they choose to handle the film for me was just, it's just bland. It just wasn't funny. It was trying so hard to be funny. And then it just like, I just could not get into it. So yeah, that's my worst films of the year so far. But I will say that War of the Worlds slipped into the top 5 now.
Oh yeah, because that was since then. I have zero plans to watch that crazy movie.
You know what's amazing about your list, Anthony? I don't know any of these movies, man.
Not me either, except for Rats, because he told us about it.
And I almost puked in my mouth, but with one of the descriptions, man, that you just gave. Wow, you're like the you know, you're the soldier that goes in the first line of the first wave. You take all the hits for us, bro. That was fantastic. Anything else on your list?
Cannon fodder.
Yeah.
No, the only thing that slipped into my list now that's different is War of the Worlds. That is now my number 2. So just shift everything down, bring War of the Worlds to number 2. The only reason that it's not worse than Rats for me is that War of the Worlds has a little bit of like that. It's just I've become so enamored by seeing all the memes of Ice Cube, like I'm just like, I can't help but like, there's kind of like a little bit of like a silly charm to it, but the movie's bad. It is bad. But yeah, for me, like it's just all around just pretty mediocre films.
Okay,
awesome, man.
I'm
Awesome.
staying away.
Who's next then?
It doesn't matter, Dee. Do you want to go next? You want me to go next? I'll leave that up to you.
Lady first.
Okay, all right, hold on. I gotta go find my list. Okay, so my number 5 is Opus, starring John Malkovich. I really enjoyed the heck out of this until it got to a certain point, like towards the end, I guess third act. So many films just fall apart in the third act. They just can't hold up. And this one, it just kind of went a bit off the rails for me. And while I mean, I feel like calling this the worst might be, I don't know. I gave it a 1 or 2 stars. It lost me. And when a movie loses me to the extent that this one did, yeah, it's going to end up on a list like this. If you want to watch it for John Malkovich's performance alone, I mean, I love him, so that's part of the reason I watched it. But yeah, can't can't really recommend this one too
But
much.
is it because like it stopped making sense at the end, or was it just a bad
Yeah,
ending?
some of the stuff stopped making sense. Some of the things that the way the things that characters could do was just like, yeah, no, I don't think so. And by the time the end came around and there was this little twisty thing that was supposed to have happened, I was just so over it and done. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's definitely the least offending film on my list. The next one, this one held my number one spot for quite a while. This was an absolute chore to sit through. The action didn't work for me. The comedy didn't work for me. The chemistry between Short Round and Ariana DeBose just did not work. I thought she was terrible in here.
Horrible.
She
And
was
I
bad.
don't know what was worse, her in this or in Craven the Hunter, she was also
Oh
terrible.
yeah, that's
in that one.
right. She was in that. Like, didn't she win an Oscar or something? What's happening with her?
Yeah,
I don't
no.
understand.
She went
Yeah.
from like Oscar winning from West Side Story to like I feel like everything she's been in after that has just been.
But
Yep.
but they say that about the Oscar curse for a lot of people. It's only certain people that if they, I think they're big enough for work, it's fine. But it seems like if they hit it too early, then everything else is just wah, 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 wah.
I
Yep,
just don't think Hollywood knows what to do with her. Honestly, she's so talented and such a different. She's like a rare talent.
Yeah.
But these movies are whether you're taking the money or your agents, I don't know what. These movies are terrible. I mean, this is like 3 in a row, right? 4.
Well, there was one that she was in maybe last year that took place on the space station ISS. I like that one okay, and I thought she was all right in that, but I was just
but it was a flop.
Yeah, it was a flop. But her performance was okay. Her performance in here was like
She was bad in this one.
I didn't think she was good at all. No,
She was very bad in this one.
Yeah, not even Short Round was very good to me, and I really like him. But it was just like, oh my gosh, and I went in on an extended rant about it, I believe, in my own review for it. But yeah, not happy with that one. And so number 3. Oh gosh, woof! This movie. I definitely went on a rant about this film. I spoiled the absolute hell out of it in my review because I hated it so much. This movie started off really, really good. This girl on the run, she's being chased by a bunch of people, and I thought the beginning was fantastic. Then you learn why she's being chased. She has stolen gold from these bad guys. Okay, so she set this chain in motion, right? But then basically by the time the movie is done, she is responsible for the death of multiple innocent people because of what she has done. And then because of all this crap that she's done, she decides she's going to throw most of the gold away in the lake, and as she throws it away, she spits on the gold like it's the gold's fault. All this stuff happened. No, you idiot, it's yours. And I was like, this chick should have committed seppuku like long time ago because the dishonor that she brought to her father. I mean, she was responsible for the death of her father, for the death of this little kid, for the death of like 1 or 2 people in the gypsy camp, and the gypsy camp was burned down by the bad people. It's like this chick, I wanted her like I wanted her to bite it so bad at the end. I was just rooting for the bad guys to do her in. I hated her character so much. Yeah, I was just like, I just ranted and I just railed against this stupid ass movie. And I think it was because I was so angry because it got started off so well. And then eventually she just becomes so unlikable. Like she was as unlikable to me as the bad guys in here. I could not pull for her at all. I was hoping, I was like, this movie would be fantastic if she had committed seppuku in the end. Because, like, she brought dishonor. She did all this bad stuff. Her dad's dead now. Oh, and then stupid crap, like, her dad gets fatally wounded, okay? She runs away from the place. Then she comes back to try to find the gold. She had hidden the gold in this little hidey hole. She comes back, and her dad's still lying, supposedly, where he died. She goes to find the money, but the money's missing. And she's like, oh, where's the money? She's trying to figure out where's the money. And then somehow she remembers that earlier in the day, her dad had thrown her sword up on the top of their little caravan wagon. So clearly he dragged his dying body to this place where the gold was buried, mind you, was able to pick up this heavy gold and throw it up in the branches of the tree. No. And crawled back to where he got injured and was lying down in the first place and died right there. That whole scene was so stupid. I hate this movie. Yeah, not only was she a girl boss, but she was just a terrible person. I did not like her. Early on, I started not liking her. When you saw the interaction between her and her dad, she was petulant. She was ungrateful. I just, Okay, so it makes me angry all over again just thinking about it. So I'm surprised that's not number one. Okay, so my number two.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I went on so long. I'm still
continue.
I'm sorry. I got just two more. Okay. Oh hi. This stupid ass movie pissed me the hell off, and I got even angrier at the audience for laughing. This is billed as a comedy, but what happens in here is this girl and this guy, they're on this romantic stay at this Airbnb by this lake. They find some bondage gear. They decide to have a little fun with it. He gets tied up while they can have their little playtime. Then when she's going to undo him, they get in an argument, and it turns out that he does not view her as a girlfriend. She's just a casual, like have fun chick. She gets mad. She leaves him chained up. She says she's going to leave him chained up for 12 hours until he changes his mind. Okay. Audience is laughing throughout this movie, all these various funny things. He's got a ball gag in his mouth at one point as he's hearing her talk with her friends about how she's going to try to get out of this situation, and murder is brought up. Then when the 12 hours is up and he hasn't changed his mind, they get in an argument again. I don't know why he didn't just lie his way out of that, but she keeps him tied up even longer. And I'm saying to myself, there is no way in Hades that this movie would have been greenlit if the genders had been reversed. Would anybody think it's funny that a guy keeps a girl chained to a bed because she doesn't want to be boyfriend and girlfriend or exclusive? I found nothing funny about this movie. There was nothing redeeming about this film. It was shot well. Okay, whatever. Okay. All right. What the hell ever. This movie was absolute garbage, and I was pissed at the audience for laughing at it. I was like, what the hell is wrong with these people? This is not funny. Okay, that's my number two. Y'all, I can feel my blood pressure go up when I talk about these movies. Okay, my number one, and this was the one that helped me win a round on, what was it? Convince the Panel or something like that? Yeah. This stupid, terrible movie, On Swift Horses, totally unlikable characters except for the poor husband in here. The main chick, she cheats on her husband with a girl. She lusts after her brother-in-law. She gambles without telling her husband, wins all this money and keeps it hidden. And he's not an abusive or bad husband, by the way, y'all. There's nothing like that going on. She lies about selling her mother's house. Her brother-in-law is a closeted gay guy who's also lusting after his sister-in-law, and he's a liar, and he's manipulative, and he steals, and all this. Like, this movie was 2 hours of torture. I could not wait for it to be over. I hated it so much. The only thing I liked about this movie was the horse, and it was only in here like maybe 5 minutes. Okay, rant over. I feel myself getting so angry all over again talking about these movies. All right, that's it for me. So, Dee, it's your turn. What, Polly?
Oh no, Romy's nudging at me. All right, sweetheart. What's surprising about that Swift Horses, I actually was excited to see it. The trailer looked somewhat interesting. I love all those young actors. And then I think it was you or someone else who saw it. I was like, okay, pass.
Yeah, I mean, you may like it. It may appeal to, but if I can't like the characters, if I can't root for the main character or characters to any degree, if I actively, intensely dislike them, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all. And it's not about just people being flawed. It's people doing really crappy stuff. I just can't. Okay,
well,
D, sorry.
No, I get it. All right.
D's number 5.
D, you ready?
Yes, I am. Very ready.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I love it.
What I realized is that Nicolas Cage is just not my cup of tea. He's not my type of actor. I
Uh-huh.
enjoyed him a lot in Moonstruck, but I just think as a whole, his fandom and his films, like, I just, it's a no for me. No, I'll say this. I fell asleep. And if you know me, you know that my body has a defense mechanism of some sort where it will shut me down to save me from experiencing the sheer horrible, terrible, whatever experience of films like this. And after a while, I was just like, is this some kind of surreal, this isn't happening, but this is happening, and what we think is happening? And I was just like, okay, it was at the film festival. I had a press pass. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see. I was out like a light. So we can move on. It's just wait.
Okay. And I'd heard good things about this. I was a little interested to watch it, but if you vehemently dislike it, then it's probably a good chance I won't care too much for it either. Okay, so you're number 4. All right.
So what I've come to realize is that if I meet up with somebody in another, we meet, if we're YouTube friends and we meet up in person at some point, if we go to see a movie together, it's most likely going to be straight up. As I met up with Anthony and Cinemas, Don't Worry, Darling. It was when I went to go see, when I went to visit my friend Kevin, the real for real in, I believe it was Houston. I think it was Houston. We saw Fast X, garbage. When we went to Durham for Mike's wedding, Ryan, Anthony, me, and Mike go to see this, and like, what is it? Like, what is this? I don't understand. I don't know why I'm doomed to have these kind of experiences. I almost feel like, I don't know, people believe different things, whether it's the universe, God, fate, whatever. I just feel like because the enjoyment of seeing these people in person is so like, oh, like, this is great. I'm on a high. I'm happy. I'm joyful. It's like we have to counterbalance that with the film that is just like a waste of time. So I get to sit there enjoying the fact that I'm around these people, but actively disliking the fact that I'm being subjected to a film that is not worth my time to experience. So it leaves me in a weird space. Now, what was great is we got the chance to do an in-person collaboration. It was all 4 of us. Poor Ryan, as was said, was going through it because I guess I've gotten so used to doing reviews in person that, it's whatever for me, but I think everybody was a little like, eh. But yeah, so it was great being around them. But as far as the film, it was a waste. I could smell the reshoots. Like, I could like actively just like, it just was rolling off the screen. And it's just like, Anthony, I don't despise Anthony Mackie, but I realize that Anthony Mackie also is just not that dude. He's not that actor. His personality, all those things, I can't do it. I really can't. So as a whole, it's just like another MCU bust, for a new phase. No.
Yeah, I stayed away from that one myself. Okay, you're number 3, D.
Look, I did a 6-minute rant basically about this. And what it comes down to is just that at a certain point, because we know how it is with the big IPs, like they will literally squeeze every last possible bit of coinage and relevance or whatever out of it. But I genuinely was hoping just to have a casual, good time. And, sometimes for me, the whole fun, it can be kind of like a way to just ignore flaws or ignore issues, which is why sometimes I'm like, I don't know. But at the core of it, I'm someone who enjoys having a good time. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be depth and dialogue and all this other stuff, but I want to enjoy myself. And I felt like this was such a weak, pointless, nothing burger of a film. And I was actively annoyed while I was watching it. It's just like, it's not even the fact that it's not Jurassic Park. It's the fact that it's not even Jurassic World Dominion, which some people said this was better than Dominion. And that is a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. Because just by the fact that we have the original cast, I understand that's not really whatever. But their presence alone, as well as a few other things, it's nowhere close for me. I just thought when I get to the point that I want characters to actively meet horrible, painful demises, then that's not the way my brain works. And I shouldn't have to feel that way during the film. And we also have inflatable rafts that apparently don't get punctured when dinosaurs bite them.
Amazing, right? Yep.
I think that was the most interesting part of the movie. It's just like, wow, where can I get one of those?
Right? Sign me up. All right, your number 2.
This was wild to me because I've kind of said this before, but 2020, 2021, not a great time for a lot of people. Definitely not a great time for me mentally and emotionally. But I think what kept me afloat, of course, a lot of different things. But when it comes to film, there were just certain films I kind of attached myself in a certain way because it allowed me to kind of briefly, kind of disengage from wherever my mind was. And The Old Guard was a film that really surprised me because I didn't have high expectations, but I really enjoyed it. I thought the concept was cool, the, action sequences, all of that. So, I'm like, and then the setup at the end, it's like, oh, that's a good cliffhanger. 5 years later, and it was weird because it's like they filmed it 2 years ago, and then there's all this other stuff that happened, and it's only just now coming out, only for it to be a pointless exercise. And I can't even say filmmaking because I can't even say that, but it's just like, what was the point of releasing this? The story went nowhere. It ended in a way to where it was like setting up for a third film. So it's not even like, like how you have films that are bridging the gap between one film and a third. So, and it almost doesn't feel like it's just its own thing. It's just like about pulling from the first and then setting up for the third. And that's all this was. And it wasted the characters. It wasted its premise. It wasted the conflicts. And I was very frustrated. I understand like it's not necessarily about the time period and all that. It's about being a better film or whatever. But I think given that experience, it makes this even more disappointing because it's like you have all the resources here and you just, it felt very much streaming exclusive, streaming Netflix exclusive, and not in a good way, of course.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, your number 1, D. This surprised me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Death of a Unicorn. I don't know what A24 has going on personally, but Death of a Unicorn, and I think this was like an early access one, and I didn't really know much about the film. I'm like, oh, it sounds interesting. Didn't really know anything going in, and I just think that I don't know what I was supposed to take away from this. I think had it just been a more straightforward, hey, we have unicorns on the loose that are actively murking everybody, a la The Cabin in the Woods, like that whole moment there. I'm like, yes, hone in on that, make it like Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, whatever, with unicorns, lean into that, make it creepy, horror, maybe a little bit funny, zany, gory, all that, fine. But I just felt like characters just talked, and then they 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 talked some more. And I was just like, I don't care about any of you all. I don't care what you have to say. Shut up. And I say this as someone who obviously enjoys conversations and dialogue with my friends and as a person. But it's just like, you're not talking about anything. Like it's nothing. I don't have anything against Jenna Ortega, but this was, when I watched her in this, I was just like, okay, this typecast. Like, I think we're getting put in a box here. Like the angsty, moody teen, something else, please. Pivot, pivot, pivot. I understand she's a part of Wednesday. That's a whole kind of separate thing. But I'm realizing between this, Beetlejuice, a couple other films, I'm like, I'm gonna need you to go somewhere else with this. I enjoy a lot of the actors in this, but they were given like nothing to do. And the only real interesting element of it were the unicorns. And to me, even that didn't really work. And then by the end, we had one of the worst looking CGI sequences with them running past the car. And I was just like, okay, well, that's kind of that's the final kibosh on what has been, you know what? It's like soggy dish on a burnt dish. That's how I felt walking out of this.
Oh. Okay.
Awesome.
There you have it. Got us all worked up now.
So I was able to put one together really quickly. And what's funny is that me and Dee have the same actress in our worst movies of the year so far. But I got a different film for you. And I base it off
I know
my
which one you've got.
movie experience, like going into a movie and how I feel, how it makes me feel in the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going from bad to worse. Flight Risk and G20. I saw it at home. It went from just like kind of good bad to just stupid bad to just like I gotta turn this off bad, but I couldn't stop watching. Mel Gibson being a lazy ass director with Flight Risk, had the woman from the actress from Downton Abbey. She was like, she's really bad at this film. Along with a really weird performance by Marky Mark and a bald, like he had a like.
Oh my gosh!
He was working that bald, cap. This movie was just freaking stupid. G20, same thing. Even though it had some laughs, it's like, come on. It's directed by a really good director who's done some good stuff in the past. Yeah, again, it was trying to be like a Die Hard with Viola, but I don't think it meant to be funny, and it was funny. So now the two that I saw in the movie theater that were, Snow White it's a disappointment because of the years of drama behind it. And I've never seen an actor sabotage their career as badly as Rachel Ziegler has, to where after this movie, you're the lead of a Disney princess. This is it. You're gonna have projects lined up for years for new films, this and that. She has nothing after this. There's nothing on the books for her. That's because she did the big no-no in that you pissed your bosses off. So when I went into this film, I was like, all right, well, maybe I'm just gonna base on her performance, and it was okay. She wasn't the worst thing about it, but someone had said you could smell or you can see the what's it called? What did you say? The
reshoots.
The reshoots.
Reshoots, yeah.
This was bad. It was just weird bad. And again, I like Rachel singing, but what a turd. And it was a very expensive turd. And hopefully a lesson that Disney can learn. Now, Hurry Up Tomorrow is probably one of the worst experiences I've had in a movie theater in years. It starts off with a music video commercial for The Weeknd. Then 20 minutes into the movie, which was, song's fine, but I'm like, what are we watching here? What's going on? I thought that was the movie. But then they started the movie. And then it is it basically, the whole film is a therapy session in his head. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a good time to me. Then maybe 40 minutes in, he actually starts speaking, and we can see his veneers and he's got this little voice. And he sounds like this. It's like, we had a great time, Jenna, but you got to go. You just got to go. And Jenna, man, listen, God bless Jenna Ortega, because if she's so cool as a personality, as a celebrity, she's got her Wednesdays, she's got her hits, but she has come out with some turkeys the last couple of years.
Yes.
You can even say more turkeys than Pedro Pascal and Ziegler put together, and yet we still love her. But she is going to have to figure something out with her age range, like you were saying, because she's going to, this little teenage thing, and then, she's kind of playing the same thing, but different takes of it.
Yeah.
She's going to have to figure that out. She's going to ride the Wednesday in Beetlejuice for a while, so her bread's going to be buttered. No worry about that. And she's got a lot of projects coming up, which says something to me that people love working with her.
Right.
That being said, just a garbage movie experience. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I chose to skip out on that one.
Yeah,
Once
same.
I saw,
Dude.
Once I saw The Weeknd was in it and it was like his movie, I was like, yeah, I don't care who's in this movie. Honestly, it felt like a vehicle to promote his music.
Self-indulgence. That's what it. Yeah,
But
just
you
a
know
little
what?
bit I saw of it.
Here's one more thing another disappointment is that what's his name? Schultz. He's a good director. He did that horror film. It Came at Night.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
It Comes at Night.
It comes.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Is that the
Yeah.
one? It comes.
Or They Come at Night. It Comes at Night.
It Comes
something.
at Night. Is that the one?
With Joel
Yeah,
Edgerton in it.
I really like that film, man.
Yeah.
And Trey Edward Schultz. So I was thinking this was gonna be something very unique, right? And then not this, this just wackadoo veneer weekend session in his head. I mean,
Well, you just put the nail in the coffin for me because I hated It Comes at Night. So
Oh.
okay, all right, that's fair. I get that. Listen, It Comes at Night is a freaking roll. It's like a roll in the hay. It feels the sound of music compared to this piece of crap.
Fair enough.
All right, guys. Just because we're Latino Slant doesn't mean we don't go after our own. You gotta keep it real, man. All right, let's go through some of these really quick, and then we'll get on out of here. I was disappointed by Love Hurts. It wasn't going for the worst because there have been other bigger crap films. Love Hurt. Oh, okay.
The one with Short Round. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 824 had some meh movies this year, like Opus, Death of Unicorn, Parthenope, and Baby Girl.
Heard
LOL.
of those.
Poor John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Misery.
Yeah, that's what happened in Misery.
Yeah.
She
So the
she
movie
kept
was
him
not
prisoner.
Swift.
No,
No.
on Swift Horses. No, it was not. It was 2
No.
hours long. It was
Oof.
torture.
This movie is a great cast. Sucks that it's not good. Well, this goes to show you, man. You need a great script. You need writing.
Writing.
It was The Boy Who Stole the Gang's Gold. Tornado
Okay.
then took from him.
Right, but it seems pretty obvious that they had conspired together to do this because he took the gold to her caravan. And then she gives him one piece and pushes him off the caravan as she and her dad are driving. And like she was just completely unlikable. I just could, yeah.
I'm curious about that one because I actually just got a screener. Like I got an email with a bunch of movies from earlier in the year that are like kind of like a screener.
I got those as well, like mid season. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Tornado might be on it. I was like,
It is on there. So I was like, I thought about watching it, but I don't know now.
I mean, you might come away with a completely different feeling about it, but it just riled me up, as you can tell. Sorry, go ahead, Pauline.
The worst movie I've seen in the last couple of years, a movie Jacob Elordi did. He Went That Away. It was atrocious.
Not good. It was in my worst of last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he's got 2 bangers now. Hopefully, Frankenstein is gonna break that curse.
Yeah.
Ew, why would Logan even be in this?
Oh, Logan
Yikes.
Lerman. Yeah. Who knows?
Wasn't that a similar movie? Oh, yeah, Kathy Bates.
Exactly.
There'd be such an uproar if things were reversed with
If it was played for comedy too, that would piss people off. They would. Yeah, there was nothing funny about a guy chaining a girl to a bit, But for some reason, this is hilarious. Just hilarious. Yeah, no, get out of here with that nonsense.
Jacob Elordi, Paul Mescal, Austin Butler, Joseph Quinn are everywhere, just as much as Pedro. I'd argue that Pedro has bigger box office hits, and Materialist is 90 million now it's made international off a $20 million budget. Not bad. Chinatsky, the only good scene is the one they took from the first
Jurassic Park book.
Okay.
Yeah, the scene in the
river, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about the Old Guard had a sequel coming out. Well,
continue to forget.
Consider yourself saved. The point of the Old Guard is to make Charlize feel like she's relevant. Oh, ouch.
Oh my.
Sharp double serrated teeth can't tear an inflatable raft to shreds.
It cannot.
Right? It's amazing.
It was stupid, but I had stupid fun. Why do people not have unicorn love?
Depends how they're written, I guess.
I was gonna say, like, if we're talking about unicorns in and of themselves, I have a lot of love for them, but in this film, absolutely not. No, zero love.
Zero love, huh? All right. Now you're hurting Polly's feelings. It's all right, dude. I had one for Jenna lined up. They'll probably have Jenna do some kind of adult film when it's time to show her as mature.
Kind of already did that. Yeah.
She did that in X.
Yeah.
Did you guys like X?
I like X.
Well, yeah, but I was also thinking of the one that she was in with Martin Freeman.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
There's
Michael
right.
girl. That's what I thought it was his, but I think that came from last year.
I there's a lot of things I liked about Miller's Girl. Did you guys see Finest Kind? That's my favorite movie of 23.
Oh, wow.
Good stuff. And we got a super chat coming in hot. $9.99 from Alejandro Montoya Marin,
Wow.
director of The Unexpecteds. Most underrated is Eddington. Most unexpected. The Unexpecteds coming out 10/14. Did you guys hear about this? His movie is being released from Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay.
Good stuff, my brother. Yes. You know what? People keep saying Eddington is. I've had varied people from the political left, political right saying this is brilliant. What do you think, guys?
I didn't watch it.
I thought it was very well made, very well acted. I just think by the time you get to the end, it just feels like Ari Aster is just so like self-indulgent. On one hand, it felt like I understood what it was trying to say, and in the end, I understand what the takeaway is. But it's just I feel like the execution just leaves you like, bro, this thing is a mess.
And I feel like it's my takeaway as far as why I didn't see it. To me, it's kind of the same thing with United 93. Is 5 years past something enough to really delve back into it? I'm not sure. But as for me, I was just like, it's way too soon, at least for me, to be reminded of that. Because in being reminded of that, I am being reminded of myself at a very unfortunate time. So maybe it's something that works for some people, but it's just like I find it interesting when it comes to like doing period pieces or capturing things that are like not far off from when they happened.
And I decided not to watch it just because I've decided that this director is not for me. So
I know because you love Midsummer so much. So
no, thank you. Yeah, did not. No. Heard about Beau is Afraid. Yep, no, definitely this guy and we do not click. So
well, thank you so much, Alejandro, for the $9.99 and continued success. Let's wrap it up, guys. You guys did fantastic. Thank you for all your hard work on your lists, best and worst. Why don't we close it up, Sin, and let's have people plug their wares. Who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead and get it over with. I'm Sin, obviously from Sin's Corner. I do mostly movie reviews, sometimes live streams, and yeah, go check me out. That's it.
Hey everyone, this is the Movieman, fellow cinephile, popcorn addict, and emerging film critic, coming to you with reliable recaps, reviews, and reactions. That is the gist, that is the shtick, that is the overall dynamic that goes on over at my channel. I love talking about all things film. I am also currently working through The Gilded Age. I am closing out this third season. I am also, I've also recently posted a video review of Weapons. And I recently posted a written review of The Pickup, which is definitely going to make that bottom of list at the end of the year. How Pete Davidson became a thing is one of the greatest enigmas of my life. But that's not
gross, man.
Let's move on.
Yeah, he was pretty gross. All right, I want to thank everyone. I'd like to thank the panel.
Anthony.
Oh yeah.
All good. It's all good. Don't even sweat it. All right, I'll keep it short and sweet. Anthony A. Perez. If you guys are into movie reviews, TV reviews, I do a pretty solid mix of things that are theatrical releases or streaming releases, as well as throwing some retrospective stuff out there. Just this last week, if you're interested, I dropped a review for Primitive War, which is currently only released through a Fathom event release in theaters, as well as Eeny Meeny, which went to Hulu, and also covered Neja 2, which is the highest grossing film of the year, coming from China. So yeah, every week you can expect new early releases on the channel for new up and coming movies. And yeah, now to you, Paulie.
This is what happens, guys, when you have a girlfriend who's like literally like this. Right, so that's we're going. We're going to the park to walk the dogs. But listen, I want to thank Sin, Anthony A. Perez, D, the Movieman, Los Cinematicos, Rosa Parra as well. Got that list. TheLatinoSlant.com, guys. There is a free newsletter that you can join. We don't sell your information. It's just for us to collect. I'm not going to share it or give it out to anyone at all. TheLatinoSlant.com also too. It's free. No tricks, no firewalls, none of that stuff. Gotcha stuff. You're going to get the whole reviews as far as current films and indie films as well. ¿Qué más? I'll be live tomorrow. And we're going to go over, there's never a shortage of the dumb things actors say. And we got a couple of those topics tomorrow, right after Midnight's Edge. All right, guys. We're done.
Adios.
We're out of here. Say adios. Thanks,
Nos
Chad.
vemos.
Nos vemos.